Welcome in, you renegade maniacs. Today, before this week in wrestling starts, I need to have a chat with my co-host, Kurt. So, without further ado, Kurt, my boy, get in here. What
What the hell are you up? What are we doing? What are you up to?
do you know why I called you out here today?
I mean, we have a show. It's Sunday, the podcast. What are you talking about?
Semantics, Kurt. See, I'm glad we're having this moment, you and I, because it's about your future.
My future?
Yes, Kurt, your future, or their lack of. You see, I sit on the board of the TRR directors, right?
Direct? What are you? It's just you and me, dude. There's no directors.
That you know of. See, you know Shane Swanson, right?
Who? No, who?
He's the one who signs your checks. Nonetheless, I have a lot of power here because me and him are very good friends. I've had dinner at his house once. What I'm trying to say here, Kurt, is that I can make your future, your child's future, and your wife's future very good. So good it could extend to future generations.
Hold on. I don't have a child, or a wife, or even a girlfriend for that matter. But what are you?
Oh,
What are you?
God, it's worse than I thought.
Yeah, thanks, man. Appreciate that.
Look. Again, semantics. I can make it all happen for you. The fame, the power, all of it. I can make it happen. I just need two things from you. Two things. The first thing, I need you to be my podcast champion.
Wait, that's not a thing.
And two, I need your soul, Kurt.
Excuse me, did I hear you said my soul? Are you Shang Tsung? This isn't a Mortal Kombat
Your
podcast,
soul, Kurt.
okay?
Your soul.
Quiet on set. Places, everybody. And action.
Well, you renegade maniacs out there, we have special coverage coming here for what just transpired moments ago. I'm being told we're going to have a exclusive sit down interview with Jarrett, the genius behind RK.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Nah, you're far too kind. I love you too, man. I love you too. Nah, stop it.
Okay, all right. That was weird. By the way, Dave Phelps Fap here with Forgetful.com. Pleasure
That
to meet you.
that sounds like a made up name.
Oh no, I'm a real journalist. I promise. I'm a real
Sh-
journalist.
Sure you are. Okay. Shoot, kid. Don't mess this up. This is probably the biggest moment of your life here.
Okay, so Mr. Jarrett or RK, the character you've created, the RK character, how does that differ but from the man behind the character, you're yourself.
Well, you see, look at it this way there, Dave. The character of RK is just me dialed up to 11. Like in daily life, I'm just a master electrician. I have a hot ass wife, I have a big ass house, and I have a nice ass car. While RK, he's God's gift to podcasting. Actually, when you think about it, there really isn't much difference between me and him. There really isn't. Yeah, you know what I mean.
No, not at all, sir.
Okay, cool. Next question. You over in the back there.
Um, sir, it's I'm the only one here.
Yeah, exactly. Next question.
Can you just, I guess, walk us through where you got the inspiration for this promo?
Yes, yes. You see there, that was almost the question a real journalist would ask. First, I'd just like to say, if you ever need your one-stop shop for all your wrestling news from the past week, check out the hit piece from the Top Rope Renegades every Monday. Look, my character RK is just an extension of me. I just said that. I mean, if you were listening to me, you would have heard me say that, and I said it, and I said it. So I'm saying it again, just so you know, it's just me, dialed up to 11, but still me. I want to go out there. I want to entertain the people. Some people would say that the people, they're my people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Not everything has to have a defined purpose in life. Kurt's soul, what does that even mean? I don't even know. uh, Simply put, nothing has to mean everything, and everything can mean nothing. Hope that cleared things up for you.
That did not help at all.
Okay, cool. Well, thank you. Thank you. That's all the time I have for questions today. I have to go wire a house somewhere exotic. Thank you.
Well, there you have it, folks. Or don't have it. I don't know. I think I'm more confused than I was before. Yeah, I'm just gonna head back to the office and write a fake news article or something like that. Good night, everybody. Welcome back in, ladies and gentlemen, or to the episode number 42 of This Week in Wrestling. We are the Top Rope Renegades. I'm Kurt. That is RK, and we are here to bring you all of the news in the wrestling world. Now, if RK is sounding a little different or seeming a little different, one, he is using a good mic, good headset, but he's on the road. He's traveling. RK, what are you up to?
I'm on the road doing my master electrician stuff. Yeah, no, I'm just out of town doing some work. Unfortunately, owning your own business, it means you work all the time.
Yeah, I
I
get it.
don't want to
I get
work
it.
all the time. I want to retire one day and just do Top Rope Renegades
This,
with my good buddy Kurt. We can
yep.
meet up in real life. We can do live shows together.
Yeah, man, that'd be awesome. That'd be awesome. I really wish I was on the road as well right now in Florida. Last year around this time, were we doing podcasts this way?
No, we were still on audio only, I think.
Yeah, but I don't know if I
No, we
recorded
weren't
them.
doing the podcast
I
yet.
didn't think we
No,
were
we
either
weren't.
because
No,
around this time last year I was in Florida. We were watching wrestling together, but I was in Florida for some figure eight racing down there.
the podcast hadn't come
Mm-mm.
into existence yet.
No, not yet. And now look how far we've come. Look how far we've come. Episode number 42 of This Week in Wrestling. We're trying to have some fun, have some new things. If you like the show, leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe to the YouTube channel. If you're listening on the audio platforms, whether that be YouTube podcasts, Spotify, Amazon, all those good ones, Audible, leave a review, 5-star rating. That would be great and fantastic. We're doing something new as we did last week. So it's not new anymore, but it's sticking around. 20 questions. Guess the wrestler, RK. Time to knock it out again. You have selected one. I have selected one. Would you like to, or am I the guesser first? Or you want to be the guesser first this
You're
time?
the guesser first.
All right. I'll be the guesser first. 20 questions. Let's get into it. It's going to get repetitive always at the start, but then we can kind of go it down a little bit. I'm going to kick things off with, is this wrestler a male?
Yes.
All right. We got a male. Um, is this person active currently?
Yes.
All right. That helps. That helps. Let's knock out the big ones right now. Is this person active in the WWE?
Yes.
Okay, we're cooking. Both of us normally cook through the first few questions.
They're the easy ones. And then you got to
but
start narrowing
then
it down to the one of 200 people it could be.
yeah, then we got to start. Has this person ever held the United States Championship?
Yes.
That's a dumb question because a lot of people have held the championship. Um, was this person active in the 2000s?
2000s? Yes.
Okay. So they have transcended from the 2000s to today, and has been a United States champion. That's so many people. So many people. Um, has this person performed in TNA?
Yes.
Oh, they have. Okay. I'm gonna just go on a whim here. Is this LA Knight?
Yes.
Is it really?
Yep.
Holy shit! Was that 6 questions?
Yeah. 7. 7
Oh, I
questions.
did it in 7. That's a record right now. That's a record. Write it down. Book it down. Yeah, I just thought TNA United States Champion, current 2000s, LA Knight. Screw it, let's do it. Wow, I did it in 7.
7 questions.
Beat that. You
I don't
might. You
plan
might.
on it.
We'll see. All right, yeah, go for it.
Okay. Is this wrestler a female?
Yes.
Is this wrestler active?
Yes.
Was this wrestler active in the 2010s,
Yes.
2000s?
No.
Okay. Um, is this wrestler in WWE?
Yes.
Okay. Um, 2010s, not active in the 2000s.
Mm-mm.
Has she? This would be a really easy one. Has she held the United States Women's Championship?
No.
Okay.
No. I wonder who that could be. And you know what? Just for
Uh,
shits and giggles, RK, she hasn't held the IC Women's Championship either. I'll just help you out. That's a freebie for me. That's just me
I
being
wasn't
a
gonna
nice
ask.
guy.
Has this woman held the World Championship for WWE?
Yes.
Um, Ooh, actually, that's kind of tough. Active now in WWE, active from 2010. Oh, wait, was a world champion.
Hmm.
There's only been 2 heavyweight champions, so that seems like a cheap question to ask, but I'm going to ask anyways. Was she heavyweight champion?
No.
Okay. Could be one of the 4 horsewomen. Could be. Is this? Did this wrestler hold a title in NXT?
No.
Okay. It's not Asuka. It's not Charlotte. It's not Bailey.
Quite a few actually. You just knocked off that one.
Yeah. Oh, this is actually world champion. Held no. Io Sky held in there as well. Is it Alexa Bliss?
It is Alexa Bliss.
Okay. Because
All
I'm like, she
right.
didn't win. She wasn't really in
Yeah.
NXT for very long. She was a manager in
No.
NXT.
Yep. She managed Buddy Murphy and Wesley
And
Blake. I
then,
think.
she was manager down there and she came up to the main roster. And then she started
Hmm.
wrestling.
Yeah, and then when you asked the question of champion, I was like, yeah, I mean, yeah, she's been a champion, SmackDown and Raw Women's Champion. She's actually never held like any others than this when they were designated SmackDown and Raw.
I
She's also
still
been
consider SmackDown and Raw titles the world champion.
yeah. She's also been a 3-time tag team champion.
One,
Twice
two,
with
three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Ah, you beat me.
that was our best run. I mean, we've only
I
done it
was.
twice. We've only done it twice, but that was pretty good. Yeah, I just thought that was funny. I was looking at it. Yeah, she 2-time women's tag champion with Nikki Cross, and 1 time with Asuka.
As soon as you took away the NXT championship, that
Mhm.
narrows down a lot of the women because most of
Yep.
them have held the NXT
Mhm.
championship.
Also, fun fact: Alexa Bliss was a 1-time WWE 24/7 champion.
She was too when they were doing the whole million swap overs.
You could have been the 24/7 champion.
I'm still going to be the 24/7 champion. Bringing it
Look
back,
out!
baby.
Look out, our truth. Look out. All right, there. Hey, we kind of flew through that one. Look at us go. On to the business, though. The news, the rumors of the innuendos. It is time for the news from Top Rope Renegades. This is the hit piece, of course, from the past week, the 17th to the 23rd of February. Alrighty, we got some backstage confusion in AEW. Brian Alvarez said he gets complaints from people in AEW every single week about Tony Khan refusing to do production meetings. Thunder Rosa's awkward run in on this week's Dynamite was cited as something that could have been prevented with a production meeting. Everybody was on a different page. Nobody knows how to explain what happened, and the babyface looked like an absolute idiot.
Did you see the clip of what happened?
Yeah, with Megan Bain.
Not good.
Mm-mm. I watched it and I'm like, was Megan Bain supposed to run away, roll out? That's the only thing I could think of, right?
And then all the IWC just people are trying to defend Thunder Rosa before this all came out from Brian Alvarez, and people were attacking the defenders, going, "No, Thunder Rosa's just absolute crap. She shouldn't even be in the AEW. She's not good enough to wrestle in
No,
the AEW." It's just like, what?
not a chance. They're probably only saying that because she's all buddy buddy with Ricky Starks and all the busted open guys. She's basically a WWE Fed at this point.
It's ridiculous. People,
Yep.
it's well known that Tony likes to do everything himself, and it's
Mm-hmm.
apparently can
Mm-hmm.
explain for a lot of things going on.
Breaking news on the Top Rope Renegades broadcast: is Kurt's soul for sale? RK asked for Kurt's soul, and what can only be called a confusing promo. RK seems to have Kurt's best interest in mind, though, and he wants Kurt to become his podcast champion. We're currently researching whether that's a real thing or not. Will Kurt take RK's offer? Time will only tell. And
Well, Kurt,
time will tell. I'm thinking on it. I am thinking
okay,
on it. I'll give you the answer at the Elimination Chamber when I meet you there in Toronto. Yeah.
okay.
We do have more on this though. On the is his soul for sale? During the press, a reporter from Forgetful.com had a chance to actually ask the man behind RK, Jarrett, just what he meant by saying he wants Kurt's soul. And here's what Jarrett had to say. Kurt's soul, what does that even mean? I don't even know. Simply put, nothing has to mean everything, and everything can kind of mean nothing. It was a very interesting press conference. If you skip past the intro or the opening, go back and watch. A lot of questions coming out of Top Rope Renegades at the moment. Um, we're going to try and dive more into it next week and see if we can figure out and get some answers. Really.
Yeah, no, it's everything's up in the air right now. I mean, the future of Top Rope Renegades could really hinge on what happens at Elimination
Yes.
Chamber on Saturday.
Yes. All right. There's the headlines. I'm sure RK's got news ready to rock and roll. I have some fun stuff too, RK, as well, because I wanted to help out and have some fun in the news. My news is a little different than yours. Um, so
It better be,
I
otherwise you'd
know,
be hijacking my fucking segment.
I know you like to go kind of day by day. So you'll like start with what happened, Monday news, Tuesday, blah blah blah. So I
Well,
do have,
I do it that way because usually by midweek you can totally see Fightful and Wrestling Observer totally contradict themselves by midweek.
yeah, true, true, true. So if you get to a date, because not every day I have news from, but I have some cool old school news that I can throw at you. So it's not even really news; it's just more so history from wrestling.
Hey,
I
we all
tried
love
to
history of wrestling.
I tried to dive back and go to like read Dave Meltzer's Wrestling Observer newsletter articles from back then, but you have to pay, and I'm not paying. So,
No, that guy, no.
so sorry, you're not getting my money, Dave.
You're paying him and then emailing him your rumors, and then he's posting it as fact. So you're paying him to write for him.
Yep.
Think about
Yep.
it.
So yeah, kick things off, RK, and I'll join in when I got news. Old news, history.
From Monday, February 17th, 2025, the tag team Demolition has been discussed for the WWE Hall of Fame eternally.
Okay. Okay.
Um, it has been noted that Road Dogg Brian James has been named the new co-lead writer of SmackDown alongside John Sweekata. If you mess up that dude's last name, you're saying something that's not cool. Uh, like seriously, I had to double take a look at that name when I first saw it. Orange Cassidy's recent absence from AEW television has simply been the star taking a little time off, as they all deserve. Orange Cassidy is an absolute gamer for AEW. He
Mhm.
definitely deserves it. Um,
Agreed.
Elijah, as of Monday, February 17th, Fightful says that he's formally being courted by TNA after Wrestling Observer last week said that he had signed with AEW. This is now the third week of going on to this. I'm just going to give you guys all a little spoiler. He showed up on TNA on Thursday.
Played a little song and dance with Joe Hendry, didn't he?
And also the Colognes showed up on Thursday as well.
Yeah, that was weird too.
Yeah, that's okay.
Primo and
Um,
Epico. Yeah.
yeah, everybody's looking for a backdoor back into WWE, I think.
Hmm.
Um, Speaking of which, we'll get to it in the show recaps, but the Hardy Boys are back, baby.
Yeah, I can't wait for NXT this week. NXT this week is
Uh,
stacked, by the way.
Stacked, absolutely stacked.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. Um, According to Dave Meltzer, he's pretty much saying that Josh Alexander has now chosen to sign with AEW for sure over WWE because he wants to secure his future for his family. He was always going to take the highest paying deal for himself, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that.
Nobody knocking it. He's gonna have some banger matches, and that's it. That's about it. I got something
Um,
from February
uh,
17th here, RK,
okay,
from
okay.
2002. WWF No Way Out in Milwaukee marked the return of Hollywood Hulk Hogan, Scott Hall, and Kevin Nash to the WWF after being away from the promotion for 9 years. That was for Hogan, 6 years for Hall and Nash. They returned as the NWO, to which Jim Ross on commentary acknowledged that they built the old WCW, but did more to destroy that entity and brand. It was a big moment.
Some would say that's true. If you go watch Who Killed WCW, great documentary.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
it actually by the end of it, you still don't know who actually did it, but everything's leaning towards Eric Bischoff, but
Mm-hmm. Yep.
um, and Vince Russo, bro.
Listen, bro, I had a great story panned out, and then they cut the money, bro, and I was gonna figure it out, bro. I promise, bro.
Yeah. What has he done since? Yeah,
He followed me on Twitter, and he has a podcast, but then he charges
cool.
money to go on people's podcasts. So, yeah, bro.
Vince will never pay you the money, but if you want to come on the Top Rope Renegades, come on, bro.
We can use you for a cold open, bro.
Yeah.
That's
Um,
all I got. February 17th.
so February 18th, Tuesday, after last week's Angle update on SmackDown, Jay Cargill is back in the Performance Center this week, and the belief is her creative plans for her return are being set for very soon now.
Well, I said when we in I think was it SmackDown? Maybe it was SmackDown. I think she comes back on Monday Night Raw when when Bianca and Naomi are defending the titles. Hell, she may even cost them the titles. Liv and Raquel could become the champions after this, but that's just my thinking.
I'd go for it. In response to apparent questions about the possibility of Jim Cornette being announced for the WWE Hall of Fame, Fightful reported that Cornette's name hasn't come up in creative discussions in recent years. That's not because the company is against using Cornette, but is more because they believe he's happy and successful with his podcasts and other projects.
He has a good old time on his podcast, The Drive Through Jim Cornette. He he's he's different. He's funny, but man, he's very similar to that aspect of Bruce Pritchard. The stories that man tells, they're fun to listen
They
to.
have stories, and they're not even they're telling you the stories they can tell.
True, true.
Like, and those are good stories. It just makes you go, oh man, those stories that they can't tell.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
imagine.
Tony Khan told Wrestle Radio Australia that AEW took
I
Grand Slam
know.
Australia to Brisbane rather than another Australian city because Brisbane wanted us. Brisbane came to us and said, "We really want you. We want you to do a show here. We think AEW would be a tremendous attraction in Brisbane." Huh?
Next, I don't
I
care.
I
I
think
don't care,
Tony's
Tony.
making stuff up, and I think he's making stuff up in his head.
Could care less, Tony.
Mishin confirmed that marijuana is no longer banned for WWE talent during an appearance on the Speak Easy podcast. She said, "So before, marijuana used to be on the drug list, and they took that off a few years ago."
Good. I mean, who cares, dude? It's not cocaine. It's not meth. Yeah, it's just a little. Liv Morgan's probably been happy, but she got busted in
Oh,
a. She
yeah.
got
Well, she
busted.
got in a country that doesn't allow it.
She wasn't in the country. It was a state that didn't allow it. Where did she get
Country.
busted?
She
Huh?
was in the country. She was in the U.S.
Right, but we have states that allow it. There's some states that don't, so it had to have been in a state that didn't allow.
She was in Florida.
Was it Florida?
Yeah.
Tough for her.
Apparently, Peter Rosenberg will be doing commentary for WWE's Evolve.
Peter Rosenberg's cool. Actually, technically, I can't say anything about Peter Rosenberg. I'm sorry, I'm not allowed to.
What?
Technically, he's a co-worker of mine, so technically, I can't speak on him. I don't want to say anything bad. He's a coworker. It's weird, I know, but he is technically a coworker.
Okay, I need this story off air.
No, there's nothing wrong. No, there's nothing wrong about it. This is technically
No,
he
the
is.
way you're making, dude, the way you're
No,
making it sound is like,
nothing.
he's
My
dressed up in dog costumes and been led around, but
no. My personal opinions of the man. I'm not gonna be. I'm not gonna just throw. Who knows? But he works for the same company
you're
that I
not
work for.
you're just
Which when I learned that, I was like, oh, Peter Rosenberg, and then I saw his Twitter, and I don't like him. So there you go. Simple as that. I'll leave it at that.
all right. There's more to that story. I'm gonna find it out for you people.
It's not really much to it.
Okay, that's February 18th is done. You got anything from the 18th?
Yeah, I got three things. In 1996, Bret Hart retained the WWF Championship against Diesel in the main event in a steel cage match of In Your House 6 in Louisville, Kentucky. The reason this is kind of important, this was the first ever pay-per-view in which the WWF had produced one in February. And this was the event that Kevin Nash handed in his 90-day notice to leave WCW.
Yeah, I remember that one.
This was the beginning of the end. If you, I don't know if you watched this event at all, RK, but Shawn Michaels defeated Owen Hart to hold on to his WrestleMania title opportunity. Newly turned babyface Yokozuna picked up a disqualification victory over the British Bulldog after a run-in from Vader, and then Razor Ramon defeated the 1-2-3 Kid in a crybaby match.
For all of you who don't know who the 1-2-3 Kid, you might know him as Sean Waltman.
You might
know him as X-Pac.
You might know him as Sticks.
Six.
Sorry, Sticks. And then
Styx is a legendary Canadian rock band. But anyways,
Hunter Hearst Helmsley pinned.
Come sail away, come sail away, come sail away with me. Anyways.
Hunter Hearst Helmsley pinned Duke the Dumpster DeRose. I don't know if I said that right.
That guy had a long and illustrious career.
And these are kind of sadder ones, but in 2015, the pro wrestling world lost Nelson Frazier. He was best known for his work in the WWF as Mabel, Viscera, and Big Daddy B. He passed away at the age of 43. And then in 2017, Ivan Koloff, better known as the Russian Bear, he passed away at the age of 74. Became a one-time WWF World Heavyweight Champion. He defeated Bruno Sammartino for the title in Madison Square Garden in the early 1971. It says in early.
The early 1971.
The early parts of 1971. Yeah.
I would have just gone with the early 70s at that point, but cool, make it confusing.
Early 70s would have worked. I don't have anything until we get to February 23rd, and that's about all I got. So take it away, my friend.
The Wrestling Observer notes that the recent WWE releases, those within the company were surprised by Sonya Deville and Carl Anderson being let go. The latter, if only because Anderson was injured, and they usually don't cut wrestlers while they're still recovering from surgery.
You said, but Sonya asked for her release, right?
No, it's one of those things where the dirt sheets, and
They
we
don't know.
sometimes they don't know, so they say one thing, they say another thing. She's recently appeared on the podcast and told her side of the story, and she's like, I'm not I don't get, like, basically said, I don't get the whole bashing of the WWE when you get released. Not saying names, but Baron Corbin and
Yeah.
a few guys. But Sony's like, I love my time there. I wanted to stay there. I wanted to continue my career there, but that's just not the way it goes. And I'm gonna move on and do the next thing.
I just before we started the show had saw a hilarious. It was funny to me. A TikTok. Her wife, they were shopping at Target together, and Sonya's been on the road with WWE, so now she's kind of home, and she's just like her wife's like talking about, man, when did they get rid of Tide Sport? And Sonya's in the background like, yeah, that one's my favorite. She's on her phone. Yeah, that one's my favorite. She's like, you don't even know what Tide Sport is. She's like, I'm the domesticated one in this relationship. Like, Jesus Christ. All right.
Uh people,
Funny.
hey, everybody have real lives behind the scenes.
True.
Um
True.
Kurt's life could get considerably better if he takes my offer. People close to Miro claim that he was constantly pitching angles for himself and his ex-wife CJ Perry, but it obviously never went anywhere. It was made worse when she was let go. There was no talk at all of his returning to TV before AEW finally let him go.
I wonder what soured that relationship. Because I just don't.
I don't
Miro's a good
know.
work. Miro's a good worker. Rusev is a good worker. He's talented. He's kind of funny too. But yeah, whatever. We'll take him back in WWE.
He's been released from companies twice now, though.
That's true. Who
Makes you
knows?
wonder if there's something else there, but
Maybe
anyways,
he's the type of guy that says no, I don't want to do that.
possibly. Because he's saying this, and last week AEW reported that they were constantly trying to pitch stuff for him as well, and he was saying no. So
He didn't want to do what they wanted to do, and they didn't want to do what he wanted to do. Meh. Released.
People in the convention and merchandising scene were inquiring about AJ Styles' availability, while it's unclear if he'll sign a new deal with WWE. I'm not really sure what that's saying.
Let's see his contract coming up.
Convention and merchandising scene. Oh, there people were inquiring about AJ Styles' availability to do conventions and if they can merchandise stuff for him, because they're unclear if he'll. Okay, so I guess he has contracts coming up and nothing's been re-signed yet.
I normally have, if updated, I have a list here. Apparently AJ signed a deal in February 2022, and it was till 2025. He had a contract until the first half of the 2024, but WWE has triggered an extension clause. So it's supposed to expire last year. So he signed until this year. No note of when it expires. So
I can't
according,
imagine them not signing him again, but
I don't see him not agreeing to a deal either, because when you think about it, he's gonna appear on TNA. AJ Francis is already dropping his name and hints and making jokes about it. He's gonna show back up on TNA. He has to show back up on TNA. I don't care. You gotta. You
well,
built TNA.
yeah, no, that's fair, 100%. And you would know, you and your cousin there are the TNA guys, so
He's more than me, but I knew TNA. And if you ask me, oh, what wrestler do you know from TNA? The first words out of my mouth are AJ Styles, followed by Samoa
Hulk
Joe.
Hogan.
No, he ruined that fucking place.
He started it, didn't he?
I don't know. I thought it was somebody else. I don't know.
Several New Japan Pro Wrestling talents have been working without deals while trying to get new contracts nailed down. The names out there right now are Gabe Kidd, David Finlay, Kevin Knight, and Zack Sabre Jr. I didn't know that
And
Zack
just
Sabre
to
Jr. was signed to New Japan. I thought he was still running out of the UK.
backtrack because I don't know how neither of us knew the answer to this. TNA was created by Jeff Jarrett and Jerry Jarrett after the end of WCW.
That makes perfect sense. Jerry Jarrett, 100%.
Yeah, so
If you want to hear
that's
great stories about Jerry Jarrett, go listen to Something to Wrestle With. Bruce Pritchard has stories.
I don't think Hulk Hogan. I assume he had a stake in it once he left.
He was featured, like, I started watching TNA early on when it was like all about literal TNA. That's kind of what obviously they were aiming for at the time. And
Mhm.
Hulk was like very prominently
Well, I do
featured.
remember him being a big prominent. Like he was also like on the board. Vince Russo joined the Jarretts. It was NWA TNA promotion as a creative writer. Russo states he coined the name Total Nonstop Action.
Okay.
It was him, bro. It was him,
All
bro.
right, Vince.
Then Dixie Carter became president. Yeah, I'm just when did
Bruce Pritchard was there. Bruce Pritchard tells a story
Mhm.
about when he went there when Vince was head of creative at the time.
Yep, I remember that. Jack Specific. Yeah, they had toys, a video game. There it is. Hulk Hogan. TNA. Dixie Carter hired Hulk Hogan and Eric Bischoff.
Yeah.
Uh, they appeared in January 4th, 2010, and they had positions behind the scenes with Bischoff part of creative and Hogan as a consultant. Yep. And then it kind of went down. It was all right. It stayed its course, but it
Hey,
did go
they
down.
still exist to today. So
I just always thought when they switched the name from TNA to Impact Wrestling, I was like, it sucks. TNA is great.
um
Sorry for the
Jamie
guy.
Hayter missed last week's Dynamite tapings due to visiting friends at an event in the UK.
Well, do you
Oh,
blame me?
good point. I was like, I don't really see how that's news, but I guess you just made it news. Um,
Do you blame her though? She's not on TV.
yeah, no, it's fact. I kept telling like you. I brought up the whole Tony Storm and Mariah May
Mm-hmm.
feuding until what it looks like going to be Revolution on March 4th, I think it is, or March
Yep,
9th, one of the two.
ninth,
Um,
ninth.
9th, and I said, yeah, no, that's cool, awesome, but AEW has a fair amount of women that they could choose from to put into stories, and yet we're now on to the second year of Mariah May and Tony Storm
Yep.
feuding, and Mercedes continues to bury people 10 months later.
Everybody Mercedes comes against loses. It's just
But yeah,
how it
Jamie
goes.
Hayter, Willie Nightingale, Megan Bain, Thunder Rosa.
Don't throw Megan Bain in there.
You don't like Megan Bain?
I like Megan Bain, but she pissed me off with the Thunder Rosa thing. Actually, you know what? I take that back. That wasn't her fault. That's Tony Khan's fault. Megan Bain counts. That's fine.
But you know what I'm saying? Like they
Yeah,
have
she's got
woman
potential.
talent, but we see
Mm-hmm.
the three same ones on TV every week with them.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
February 20th, WWE is gearing up towards a match between Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu at WrestleMania 41. Obviously, that can only make sense. It's going to be great.
Hold. Please just give me a second. I said that months ago. Just let me have that, please.
No, you said months ago, oh, I want a match.
I said that's that. I said
And
that's the
then
Mania
and
match.
then
I
after
said that's the Mania
SmackDown, you're
match.
like after
Bullshit.
SmackDown you
Don't
said
do that. I said it
after
way before
SmackDown
that.
after SmackDown you said they're gonna have that at WrestleMania. And I'm like, yes they will.
Not this
Before it
most
was just a
recent SmackDown.
want.
No.
Before it was a want. And now it's a fact. A prediction, one might say.
What's the next news article? You're not going to give me this one.
No, I'll never give it to you. Where would the fun in that be?
Pause.
Hey, your mind went there, not mine. Your that was a Freudian slip, my friend. I mean, hop on a plane. Maybe we can figure something out.
Not
Anyways,
give me my soul.
yeah, you got to Elimination Chamber, buddy.
Oh, yeah.
Um, This one makes no sense. I'm not gonna read that piece of news. Actually, I am because it makes no sense. WrestleVote said they don't think Finn Balor versus Dominic Mysterio is happening at WrestleMania. Instead, they've heard potentially AJ Styles for a single match with Balor if it's not Braun Breakers versus Styles.
Uh, okay, yeah, that makes no sense.
Right? They're just like, oh, it might be Dominic and Finn, or it might be AJ and Finn, or it might be Braun and Styles. It's just like, yeah, cover all your bases.
The only
That's
one that
one.
makes full sense to me is
Braun and
Braun and
Styles.
AJ. Yeah.
I saw a graphic though, a 6-man ladder match for the Intercontinental title. The members of that match would be Braun Breaker, AJ Styles, Penta, Dominic Mysterio, and 2 others were on there. But I was just like, oh, actually, I want that.
Please, for a second, all seriousness, I didn't predict any of the participants or whatnot. Have I not said in the past though? I kind of wish WrestleMania would have the Intercontinental ladder matches again. Did I not say that? Because
You
we were
you
talking about Matt
may have,
Cardona. We were
you
talking
may
about Matt
have,
Cardona, and I brought up
possibly,
when Zack
maybe,
Ryder. Yeah, I did.
likely, possibly.
But no, that match would be sick.
It
That
would
bitch
be.
would be sick.
Oh, so good.
So say the
Um,
names again. You said Braun, AJ,
the
Penta,
I'm trying to remember what the picture was, but the picture they definitely had Braun, AJ, Penta, and Dominic on there.
Ludwig.
Ludwig was on there. Yep, actually, yeah, Ludwig was on there.
Is that 5?
And yeah, that's 5. Maybe
Sheamus.
maybe
Sheamus.
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 Sheamus. That is the 6 that were on the poster. The fan made poster. We just figured it out because it's the ones that make the most sense.
Mm-hmm. But Finn being
And
in there kind of makes sense
no,
if Dom and him are feuding.
yeah, but I think you need that to blow off in a singles match.
Yeah.
Um, but that 6-man ladder time. Do you have Braun retain, or do you have him lose so soon after winning it again?
He
Do you have
loses that.
Penta? Do you have Penta win?
Penta or Sheamus. Sheamus to complete the Grand Slam, or Penta because he's like the hottest thing.
I think you'd have to do Penta.
I agree, but if it's either Penta or Sheamus if Braun doesn't win.
Penta would send a message to any free agents going, "Hey, you got talent, you come here, we'll push you."
Right. Yeah, the Penta makes the most sense. Sheamus just because they like pushing he's still chasing the Grand Slam deal.
Yeah,
Or
but he's
Braun
just signed like a
retains.
5-year. Sheamus just signed like a 5-year
He'll
deal. He's
get
got
it.
plenty of time to get there.
Or Braun
Plenty of
retains.
time to get there. I just don't know if you take it off Braun so quickly after winning it back after he lost it. Do you saddle him with that many title losses early on in his career?
Mid card title. He's good enough you can put him in the main scene.
It's not like they've been using him very well as IC title right now, anyways. Um, sorry, I was so prepped on me taking your soul that I
Yeah.
was not ready for the news. WrestleVotes reported on a new WWE show that's supposedly coming to Netflix sometimes this spring. It's said to be a docu-series, kind of new age vlog show. It'll focus on the lives of superstars both in and out of the ring.
Okay.
With Chelsea Green said to be one of the featured talents. I'm sold.
I'm sold. That'd be fun.
I'm sold.
That'd be fun.
Oh, did you see the video
Yes.
online of
Matt
Matt
Cardona.
Cardone?
Yep. Yep. Him running around Chelsea. 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 She's like down the road at the gym.
So good. So those two just have so much fun. It's awesome. Michael Cole was on Impulsive this week. If you haven't listened to that podcast, go listen to it. It's really good. Michael Cole opens up about a lot of stuff, and you don't usually get that from him. It was really cool
Yep.
to see. But yeah, he said on Impulsive that he recently signed a new deal with the WWE that will keep him there until his retirement age. The 58-year-old Cole later specified he has 8 years left on that contract.
Damn. Damn.
He other things that came out in that podcast about he said that there was a time where he wasn't sure that he was going to stay in the WWE recently. He was Vince wouldn't let the commentators be themselves. He'd be constantly in their ears telling them what to do. And ever since Triple H has come into lead of the company, Triple H gives them free reign to be themselves. And Cole said that that direction invigorated him and made him want to
Mm-hmm.
continue to do it. He had lost the passion there, he said.
Pat McAfee, man.
Another great story. The Pat McAfee story from Michael Cole when Pat McAfee
Yeah.
first showed up in 2018.
Yep.
And at the time, Michael Cole was lead of the announcers. He was like the boss of the announcers, which after that incident, he got let go of that position. But I guess WrestleMania 37 or 36, Pat McAfee showed up wearing shorts. Everybody's in suits, and he's in shorts. He shows up, and Michael Cole just
Dress
loses it.
shorts. They were like tuxedo. They were good shorts. All right.
But Michael Cole loses on. So what the fuck are you doing? This is WrestleMania, man. What the hell are you doing? And Pat's just like, fine, I'm going home. Take my
Fuck it, I'm
shit.
out.
I'm out of here. And he legit went to the back, and Michael Cole followed him, and he's like, I get it. He's like, I got it. I was over the top, but they were able to work things out. But yeah, Pat was ready to
Yep.
go. He was packing
Done.
his shit. And then after they worked things out backstage, Michael Cole brought Pat up to meet Vince, and Vince is like, his shorts, they look good. Why are you giving him crap about his shorts?
I think it looks great. That's fine, pal. What are you talking about? Well, yeah. What's funny about that is the next Pat McAfee show that he did after WrestleMania on that Monday. He brought up. He didn't name Cole. He just was like, "Yeah, almost didn't walk out on stage there. Certain people were not happy with my attire, but now they're like best friends."
Yep. That's just so funny how that can happen. Holy crap. When's the last time we've had Raj Desi news, Kurt?
You son of a bitch.
In an interview with Monopoly Events, Raj Desi, FKA WWE's Jinder Mahal, said that no one from. Did you just throw up in your mouth a little bit? Yeah, he did. Okay, cool. Said that no one from AEW has reached out to him since his WWE release, at least not on an official level.
Okay, yeah, cool.
Okay, on from that story. New Japan's Kevin Knight has spoken to AEW while he continues to talk to New Japan Pro Wrestling about a new deal. The site also says Knight is interested in talking to WWE, but doesn't know if he has yet.
Kevin. Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Kevin
all
Knight's
right.
that super athletic
Yeah.
fucker in New
Yep.
Japan.
Yeah, he's good. He's good.
News from February 21st.
Oh wow. Yeah.
On the Coach and Bro show, Jonathan Coachman said he has it on good authority that Shane McMahon asked for the world when he met with Tony Khan last year. More specifically, Shane asked for equity in AEW and to come in and run the entire show. Khan responded by ghosting him after the meeting.
It's funny though. It's funny.
It is fun. Hey, good on Shane, seeing a chance to pounce and see if something would happen.
Yeah. Fuck it. Shoot your shot.
A source close to the McMahon confirmed that Khan didn't follow up on their private meeting, but Shane didn't take it personally because he knew what he was doing.
Oh,
He was just
totally.
he was just testing the waters, just seeing what's there. The source doesn't know if the claim about McMahon asking for equity in AEW is true, but did confirm that Shane wanted to run things. McMahon didn't have the product knowledge to actually do that, though, and it seems that Khan thought he was joking. Okay, Fightful sitting there and saying that Shane McMahon doesn't have the product knowledge to actually run a show is
That's hilarious.
ridiculous.
That is
That
funny.
is absolutely hilarious. You're saying Shane has no clue about the product of AEW. Is that what they're actually trying to say? I don't think he would have went in there blind.
Actually, though, to be honest, maybe, maybe, because he probably turned it on one day and was like, "I'm gonna see if I can own this joint. Let's see what their product is." What the fuck am I watching? It's kind of like you texting me when you were in the hotel room on Saturday night. And you're like, looked over to TNT, turned it off pretty quick.
Oh yeah, it was the Death Riders coming out to face Daddy Magic a chubby Daniel Garcia and somebody who I had no clue who it was.
Handsome talent.
No, didn't. I don't know. It's just some random, but I don't think it was an enhanced. I think it was like one of Daddy Magic's boys, but I don't know.
Hmm.
And then I read the name later that night, and I still don't know who it was because I clearly have forgotten about it already. Following up on just how bad things were in WWE's women division in early 2022, Fightful Select learned that one of Vince McMahon's pitches for the Royal Rumble that year
This
was
pissed
for
me off.
Ronda
This
Rousey to return and eliminate the entire field.
that pissed me off. It really did. Matt Menard is the name you were looking for.
Sure.
Speedball showed up. If you would have stayed watching,
Is he really that good though?
dude, don't say that.
I'm kidding.
Ojito Del Vikingo match TNA. Come on.
Yeah, great match. Speedball is good,
Mhm.
and he's in the right company for his style. He would never
Agreed.
succeed in WWE.
Totally.
There is a definite niche type of wrestler that AEW does cater to, and there are definitely wrestlers that definitely belong in AEW over WWE.
Yeah.
And I'm not
No,
saying
that's
that
fair.
like it's a bad thing. It's just AEW is more wrestling orientated, whereas WWE is more entertainment orientated.
Hmm. Who said it? Michael Cole, right? Michael Cole said it on the Impulsive podcast. Story,
Don't do that.
right?
Don't be that guy. Don't be that guy.
Okay.
The entire AEW fan base. Oh look, Michael Cole
Oh
said they're
no,
not a wrestling company.
that's not what he meant. I know that's not what he
No,
meant.
that everybody knows. Anybody who with half a brain cell knows what he meant. So
Right.
clearly not AEW fans. Um,
Oh wait,
I think
sorry for the AW fans. That was a mic drop. I know that's hard for you. Anyway,
CM Punk likes to call them pipe bombs, and if you guys didn't run him out of your company, you would have learned what one of those were.
well, MJF did cut a promo on CM Punk and called the mic in his hand a nuke. Remember that?
Have you seen anything from MJF in the last 6 months that was good?
Dude fell off. I'm so
Fell
disappointed.
off.
So disappointed. Needs to get that fire back.
He does.
Something.
It seems like he
Something,
just
man.
doesn't care right now.
'He's in Happy Gilmore too. Why should he care?
100%. He's a rock star. Um, this was funny when actually when Logan Paul dropped this little clip. I was just the way he was like generally shocked. He's just like, "What the fuck?" Logan Paul said he recently found out that the Egyptian government has banned him from entering the country. So he was supposed to go over there to do something with Mr. Beast, right? Mr. Beast called him up and was like, "Hey, we're heading over to Egypt to do some stuff." And then Logan's like, "I'm coming. I want to come." And then Mr. Beast was like, "Okay." And then like a day later, he said, Mr. Beast called him back and said, "Yeah, we talked with the Egyptian government, and if you come, we can't." And Logan was
That's
like, "What the fuck?"
it's crazy. It's crazy. Is
He's like,
he? I'm not.
He's like, "I've never even been to Egypt."
I wonder if that's stemming off of the situation that happened in Japan.
Possibly, but it was just like,
But has
just
everybody
his genuine shock was actually fucking hilarious. He
has
was just like,
everybody
"What the fuck?"
confirmed if he can go to Japan? Can't he? I don't know if he's on a list or anything. I don't know. I just
I
remembered him
think
and
he,
Dom talking about it.
no, I think he was playing it up. He's like, "I could go. I just got better stuff to do."
I don't think. Yeah, maybe he really can't go to Japan.
I don't think he can. I think the government's like,
By the
"No,
way,
dude."
that interview with Dom is fucking amazing in that interview. Just
Dom is
like
hilarious.
you should come. You should definitely come.
You know, Dom can't miss in what he does. He's an ultimate heel right now. Um, but he gets it. He's funny. Like
Mhm.
this whole thing where he's playing off, where he's like going,
He's a
"Man, I
20
should
year
be in the
vet.
Hall of Fame. I should be in the Hall of Fame. I've been doing this for 20 years."
20-year vet,
It's
dude. He's been in
it's
the game
fucking
for a long time.
it's golden. Um, PW Insider mentioned that Brian Danielson was backstage at this week's AEW Dynamite and Collision tapings in Phoenix, Arizona. Fightful Sean Ross Sapp believes that Danielson is still working with AEW in a creative capacity. Not, yeah, probably.
Who cares?
On the
Sorry.
latest episode, of the Hacksaw Hour, Hacksaw Jim Duggan announced that he recently signed a WWE's Legends deal.
I didn't know Hacksaw had a podcast.
Everybody has a podcast. Look at
That's
us.
true.
We have a
That's
podcast.
totally true.
It's
Everybody
not
does.
hard.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
I mean, hell, we're at 42 episodes strong. All right. Anyways, February 22nd, PW Insider was told that The Rock's involvement in this week's SmackDown didn't come together until the night before the show, and the company shifted plans to pivot towards his appearance. Of course they would. Rock is literally one of those guys that can go, I'm showing up tomorrow, and they're like, okay, we will find you a spot.
Can I
What are
be
you going to talk
honest?
about? What are you going to talk about? I have no fucking clue. Okay, perfect.
I'm not ready to get into the show reviews and get to SmackDown. I'm just not ready. My brain hasn't processed it still, and yeah, just keep doing your thing. But you saying that made me, I obviously I know what happened, but now I'm like in my head, I'm going through like, oh fuck, we have to go through the promo. Oh fuck, I have to
Yes.
read this promo.
We gave a pretty good recap at the start of the show, I think.
Yeah, we can skip it.
We can skip it. You saw it.
We did it. Fuck it, we'll do it live.
WWE talent were shocked when they learned about The Rock's appearance per Fightful. It sounds like there's a lot more uncertainty about WrestleMania 41 card now, with one top star in the company joking that the show is at the mercy of Dwayne.
Good.
I mean,
Good. You know why? Sorry to the talent that are confused, but I love it. Because remember, RK, he will not be at WrestleMania 41. He's
he will
not.
not.
He's not
He
gonna
will
be.
not.
And I love it. I love when them fucking idiots are wrong and they have to make up that they were actually right and they said, well, if this and that, and if you were wrong. Own it. Stand on business.
Kurt, I'm gonna have to break your hopes and dreams here, buddy. The Wrestling Observer newsletter mentioned that Jacob Fatu versus Solo Sikoa is not currently scheduled for WrestleMania 41, as WWE already has plans to book one of them in a different match that weekend.
Okay, we'll see.
Sorry,
Bookmark that
Kurt.
one. Hey, bookmark. No, bookmark that.
Your
That's fine.
dreams your dreams have been dashed. You were wrong.
If Uncle Dave says it, sorry, you're right. Uncle Dave said it.
Well, as long as it's one of those Dave Felt's fap guys. Fightful says the women in WWE who are frustrated have concerns about the struggling tag team division, lack of screen time for women who aren't the top stars, and poor development of championship contenders. That sounds like a clickbait ad for Fightful.
I don't know. I got nothing on that, man.
No, I got nothing. That's the first I heard of. It seems like Fightful only ever posts some woman, some man, some talent have frustrations with some stuff that's happening in some capacity at some point in a show.
Yep.
That's how it's like, I just don't think there's like a lot of talent in WWE that are just calling up Sean on a daily basis going, hey, here's what's happening. I just don't see it.
Hey, Sean, so I got some news for you. Hey, Sean.
Like, no, his phone's not ringing off the hook. While doing a Q&A session with For the Love of Wrestling, Fandango talked about his recent work in NXT. During his time there, Shawn Michaels apparently told Fandango that he has 1 or 2 matches left in him.
I think Shawn Michaels is just joking around.
I think so too. Have you seen that man try to walk? It's a little stiff. Love
Yeah,
Shawn, favorite wrestler, best wrestler of all time, but a little stiff.
Yeah, let's calm down, Sean. We saw that match in Saudi, okay? DX versus The Undertaker.
Insider says that the Max streaming service will be adding AEW pay-per-views from 2020, 21, 22, 23, and 24 on March 1st. For what it's worth, Sean Ross Sapp, who was told The AEW content being added to Max in March is a batch of Dynamites and pay-per-views, but not the full slate of them.
Okay. I don't care. I'm not gonna watch them anyway. I
No.
will have Max though,
But
because The Last of
but
Us
wait,
Part Two.
hold up. The IDWC lost their fucking minds when Netflix debuted on Netflix. Yes, that happened. When WWE debuted on Netflix internationally, and the vaults only had choice amounts of
Yeah,
shows. The IWC said, "What the hell is this crap? They're not even ready for Netflix. Why would they even all this money?" And then it's just well, apparently Max don't have all of AEW shit either. So fuck off.
it'll take time. It takes time. I mean, genuinely, you
It's
gotta
a
absorb that.
lot. Like when you
Yeah.
think about it, AEW only has like maybe what 250 shows total in their career. WWE has
A lot.
thousands.
And then you throw in the WCW stuff too. Like Jesus, man.
Yeah. It was a joke at 250 shows for AEW. They might be up to like 300 by now. Um,
Yeah.
Vengeance Day and the upcoming Roadblock special event aren't explicitly branded as NXT events and promotional
Saw
materials,
that.
and instead are simply advertised as WWE shows. Many believe that this is so the shows will get more attention that way.
Okay. I mean, it makes sense. It doesn't change our rules for 20 questions though. NXT is
No, but it does cement the fact that they are two different entities.
they are two different entities. Sure, you're correct. You're correct.
Yeah, that's it. That's my news. That's what I got for you.
Just a quick update. I'll get to the history. TNA Sacrifice. That is, I think it's on Thursday. No, Friday, March 14th in El Paso, Texas. There's been two matches announced. Cora Jade will be taking on Masha Slamovich for the TNA Knockouts Championship.
Huh?
Ace Austin is teaming with Trey Miguel and Zachary Wentz to take on Wes Lee, Tyreek Igwe, and Tyson DuPont.
Okay.
Couple match announcements there. But okay, here you go, real quick. February 23rd, 2020, 2002, Ring of Honor was born. It is where it hosted its first ever event at the Murphy Recreation Center in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. The first ever main event was Loki taking on Christopher Daniels and Brian Danielson in a triple threat match.
Well, I was just going to ask you, name me 5 stars off the top of your head that have come from Ring of Honor.
Brian Danielson, Christopher Daniels. I mean, I can go on. CM Punk, Seth Rollins, Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens. I mean, there you go. Low key,
Yeah.
sure. February 23rd, 2010, WWE's brand new NXT show aired its first episode from the Bradley Center in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. This show was very different to what NXT became. In essence, this was a limited run series that saw 8 rookies paired with established WWE stars as their pros. They competed in matches and contests to avoid elimination and ultimately win the competition and a WWE contract. The main
Okay,
event of the first.
so sorry, before you continue, the reason I never got into NXT during its heyday, the black and gold era, the takeovers and everything, is
Mhm,
because I had just gotten back into wrestling around 2009, 2010 because of the CM Punk resurgence and the WWE getting hot because of it.
mhm.
NXT was announced in 2011, you said?
10.
2010, yeah. So I remember that happening, and I tuned in for the very first one. And I'm like, this is fucking hot garbage. I'm not watching it. And then I heard about NXT, and I just thought it was always that. I always thought it was just some kind of like reality show type thing.
Yep.
I didn't realize it was actually a full fledged wrestling show eventually.
It became it, yeah. The main event of this first show was the debut of Daniel Bryan, who was paired with The Miz as he fell in a losing effort to WWE Champion Chris Jericho, who was Wade Barrett's pro. Um, I did want to, since this, we normally drop the episodes on Monday, February 24th. There was a couple things I wanted to make a note of for February 24th. 2011, February 24th, the WWE announced they had signed arguably the biggest non-American wrestling star in the world, RK, February 24th, 2011, saw the signing of Sin Cara.
Oh my god, I remember that too, and that just did not work out at all. He was
Uh,
like he was like put on probation like twice in the first year. He was injured once. It was just yeah.
his spell WWE was a disaster, and he was released 3 years later to sign with AAA. The main reason I included February 24th, because in 2014, RK, The wrestling media landscape was changed forever when the WWE Network was launched. It was only available in the US originally. The on demand service, which was $9.99 a month, featured the biggest and best wrestling programming archive in history. Every single WWE, WCW, and ECW pay per view, all episodes of Raw, SmackDown, and Nitro, thousands of other shows, and also every new WWE live pay per
I
view.
fucking hated when that was announced. 'Cause I'm like, oh, this is gonna be so cool. Then it was only in America, and I was just like, I wanna. I
How
have been
soon?
dying. I have been dying for the last, I don't know, 15 years to go back and watch all of the Attitude Era stuff,
Yeah.
and I can't wait till it's on Netflix.
Yeah. When it launched, when did it, how soon did it launch internationally?
I have no clue because I wasn't watching wrestling at that time. I was just tail end when it was announced that it was coming.
Okay.
Because CM Punk left in 2014 as well. So
Yep.
I was just on the tail end of, like, I stopped watching when CM Punk left. I was only watching for CM Punk. That's
Gotcha.
all I cared about. And yeah, there's rumblings like early on in 2013, 2000, like that something was coming like that, and then it was announced that it would only be in America, and I was like, well, that sucks.
Well,
And then I pretty much
eventually,
stopped. I pretty much it did come, but we never Sportsnet when they signed that deal with WWE to have it on their platform. It was not the network. We didn't get all the like all the classic Raws
mm,
and stuff or anything. We got all the
ever?
pay per views. That was ever.
Oh, because I was going to ask if you had any fond memories of the WWE Network, but it doesn't sound like you do.
Nope, nope.
Me personally,
The fact
man,
that the fact that I could pay like $20 a month and I get all current wrestling and
true.
all pay per views, that was cool and all, but
Yeah, I remember getting it and falling asleep almost every night watching either all the Royal Rumbles in order or,
I did that as soon as Netflix came on. I
yeah,
watched all the Royal
totally.
Rumbles.
And then my favorite thing that was on the WWE Network was the Monday Night Wars series, where they just it was so many episodes of just talking about the Monday Night Wars. I would fall asleep every night listening to that.
Yeah.
That one
As
was
soon
fun.
as soon as Netflix gets all of the Attitude Era episodes, I'm watching from like
And dude,
97 till like 2002.
$9.99 was the price. What? Imagine that nowadays. $9, $10. Here you go, $10. And then you have this archive of everything that WWE, WCW, and ECW has ever done right there in front of you.
Oh
Crazy.
yeah, be wild.
Crazy, man. All right, that's a wrap on the news. Coming up, we're gonna get into Raw, SmackDown, and NXT. Stick around because boy, we're in for a doozy once we get to the tail end of those shows. SmackDown was a doozy. I'm just prepping the people now, RK. It was a doozy. I think it's fair to say that it won't be making our shows of the week. But we got a lot to talk about. And I do want to put it out there, Raw and NXT this coming week, pretty stacked. There's some pretty good shit coming on Raw and NXT at least this coming week. So I look forward to breaking down all the shows here on This Week in Wrestling with the Top Rope Renegades. We will be right back. Welcome back in to the Top Rope Renegades presents This Week in Wrestling. It's time to dive into the weekly show recaps that we do every week. This week we only have Raw, NXT, and SmackDown on tap. We're going to kick things off with Monday Night Raw from February 17th, 2025. We're in Charlotte, North Carolina for Monday Night Raw. We get the shots as always. Seth Rollins, Finn Balor, Roxanne Perez, Ivy Nile, Dakota Kai. They're all walking, showing up to the arena earlier in the day. Daytona 500 winner William Byron drives his number 24 car into the arena
It's not
area.
Jeff Gordon. That's
It's
not
not Jeff
Jeff Gordon.
Gordon. It is William Byron. Driving AJ Styles into the arena. Michael Cole and Pat McAfee are shown ringside. And they throw it to a video recapping the recent happenings involving Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. Sami Zayn's music hits, and he's going to open the show tonight. It's been a rough couple of weeks for Sami, but somehow I don't see it getting any better here. He's been sitting at home rehabbing and thinking about his history with Kevin Owens. Their two names have been tied together their entire careers. There have been a lot of betrayals, but always forgiven and forgetting later on. This time, there's no forgiving and no forgetting. Kevin tried to end Sami's career. The only problem is Kevin didn't get the job done. Kevin said he'll be in Toronto for the Elimination Chamber, as Sammy will too. Adam Pierce comes out to rain on Sammy's parade and everybody's parade. He gets booed here because he says he knows that Sammy wants the match. Everyone here wants the match, and a part of Adam Pierce does want the match too. But everybody has told Sammy no. He is not medically cleared to compete. Pierce would love to make the match, but the answer is no. Pierce just walks away. Sammy asks, "How long have you known me and Kevin?" You've been there right beside them the entire way. He knows their history. Knows Sammy will not take no as an answer. Sammy will not leave the ring until Adam Pierce gives him his match with Kevin. Adam says he can't sanction it. If Kevin wants to hit Sammy with a chair or drag him to the concourse or give him another pile driver and a pile driver, Adam can't stop him. Sammy assumes all the risk for every or very little reward. Even if he wins, he still loses here. What this means is that at Elimination Chamber in Toronto, it could be the last match of Sami Zayn's career. Sammy walks up to Adam and says he understands what it means and he wants the damn match. Adam says it will be Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn at Elimination Chamber. And it's not official, it's unsanctioned.
Do you have any idea what this could mean?
A part of me does, man. A part of me does. And I'm very excited.
Like, if anybody does not know the history of Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, do a little research. It's probably one of the best stories in wrestling in the
Mhm.
past 20 years.
Transcends
Uh,
companies, not just WWE.
Companies. One of their most brutal matches ever, Ring of Honor, 2010. Kevin Steen versus El Generico. Um, some people believe that he's not Sami Zayn. We all know better. Go watch that match. It is hardcore. It
Have you
is
watched the
brutal.
match?
I have, yes, because
I've
I
watched
asked
it
you
too.
multiple times, and you said, "Oh, we will," and we never did. I'm like, "Fucking, I'm watching."
Yeah, I haven't watched it. I've seen the clips though. The clip of the whatever it was through a ladder was making the rounds on social media. If we get anything of
Like
that
the
level,
two ladders across the,
hmm
yeah, the Steno, the small package pile driver through that ladder.
yep, yeah, it's
Um, if we get even a fraction of that match, we're in for a show.
it's coming this
The
Sunday.
IWC lost their mind over this promo. They're like, "Oh, this is so stupid. Why would Adam even let it unsanctioned if he says all this stuff about how Sammy can get hurt, and then they allow the match to go on anyways? Why is Adam even there? And what kind of power does he really have?" And it's just like, you guys, what?
Sometimes you have to look at these people and tell them,
But
it's
you thought Hangman Page injecting Swerve Strickland or what in an unsanctioned match was good?
and they thought that he burned Swerve's house down. I mean,
Yeah.
come on. Sometimes you got to look at people and tell them, hey, it's kind of fake in some ways, right? And I say
You
fake, I
guys
don't
know I'm
mean
not.
fake.
You guys know I'm actually not going after Kurt's soul, right?
He says that. Moving forward, Michael Cole says Sammy is out of his mind. Pat is just
Oh,
pumped to see the
Pat,
unsanctioned match.
Pat was pumped.
Pumped up, and he's like punched Cole. He's like, "Are you kidding me?" We get a recap of the Jade Cargill video that surfaced
I swear to
on
God, if we were
SmackDown.
able to do this live side by side in like the same room, you and I would be Pat and Michael.
Yeah, we would. Who would you be?
I'd probably be Pat.
Would you? You think?
Yeah, yeah,
All right.
yeah.
Yeah, you're. Yeah. Okay, I'll give you that. That's fair. I'd be reading the script, locking it, and you're like, "Are you, dude?"
Like, fucking dude.
We see the Jade Cargill video that surfaced on SmackDown. We see the Judgment Day Clubhouse where Dominic Mysterio and Liv Morgan are talking about their current issues with people. Then Balor talks about how there'll be three Judgment Day members in the Elimination Chamber after the night, and they'll handle their business and be back in business. I don't know. And then I think Carlito was
Carlito. So
talking to
there.
Raquel here, asking about her credit card information to buy the DLC on the new game.
Yeah.
He's like, it's only like $5 you buy it, and then he pops his head in and just pushed away.
He's like, okay,
Carlito,
okay, okay, yeah, okay, yeah.
Carlito's great, fantastic. We get the clip of IShow Speed talking about how Braun Breaker almost killed him at the Royal Rumble as well. He did that live on Twitch and was telling the viewers like right here, and it showed when his body folded, and he's like, I thought I died right there, bro.
Like, did anybody warn him he was getting that? Because like most people, brace for. He just went.
Yep, yep. Nobody warned him.
I don't think that because he literally turned last second and then caught it.
Hmm.
If he hadn't turned, he was catching it in the ribs.
It was a moment of, oh fuck.
That leads into our first match of the night: AJ Styles versus Dominic Mysterio. A good match to get AJ Styles back into the swing of things, shake off that rain rust. Dominic gets his stuff in the to annoy the crowd as per usual, and it's always gold. Um, AJ Styles, though, and you brought this up, is still the only one to do the Styles Clash that beautifully. Others try it, others do it. It just never looks that good. The one that has probably come the closest was Mishin's off the top rope last year.
Clean. And she didn't get a 1, 2, 3 off that.
Wild, right? Because it's not her finisher. It's
I
not her
get it, but come
finisher.
on.
Um, Sorry, I got lost in my notes here. The finish came when Carlito tries to get involved in the match, but gets taken out just as quick as he tried to help. Dom goes for a roll up and gets two, but AJ kicks out and catches Dom with the Styles Clash for the 1, 2, 3. Braun Breaker immediately emerges and tries to spear AJ, but AJ just steps aside and Dom catches the spear. AJ throws Braun outside of the ring. Braun rips off his shirt and chucks it at AJ in the rain, but AJ catches it oh so smoothly. Oh, that was smooth. He was just like,
I don't know which
aha.
one's smoother, the AJ catch of the shirt, or do you remember when Roman caught the microphone and
Roman's
brought
Roman's might catch. Roman's might
just
catch.
just the boom and the wink? Like I was like,
Yeah.
oh, that was smooth.
Braun stares down AJ as he clutches onto his IC title.
We need that match. Really do need that match. A lot of Braun Breaker matches I need. Add AJ Styles to the list now. Give me that one. Um, we get a recap of the War Raiders versus the Creed Brothers from last week. The Creed Brothers are backstage recapping their match while Ivy Nile points out that they promised Master Gable they would all have gold when he got back. Dakota Kai walks up. Some words were exchanged with Ivy, and they're up next.
And that leads us into match number 2 of the night. WWE Women's Intercontinental Championship #1 contenders match. Dakota Kai versus Ivy Nile. With the push that American Made has been getting the past bit here, I was a little surprised Dakota picked up the win. I'm sure Ivy losing this week and the Creeds last week will all tie into something moving forward.
Mm-hmm.
It was still a little surprising here. Dakota looked good here coming back from the concussion. Rematch between Dakota and Lyra is definitely a lot more interesting, and probably will be a better quality match than Ivy versus Lyra. Nothing against Ivy, just I don't think she's there yet, but
Yeah.
give her time. She's young. She's built for it. Um, Finish came when Ivy gets Dakota in the ankle lock for the second time in the match. Dakota works her way out of this one as well and stomps Ivy. Dakota pulls up Ivy and hits the GTK and gets the 1, 2, 3 for the win. Lyra enters the ring as she was ringside watching, and she holds the IC title high.
Yeah. Rematch like we had already. See if they can. I think the original, the inaugural title match was pretty good between the two. They
Oh
both
yeah, no,
really
these
good.
they put on a fantastic match the first time, so I don't have any doubts for this match whatsoever.
Agreed. Gunther, he's in the concourse with his people. He tells a kid on the stairs to get the fuck out of his way. No chill at all with this guy. Completely nuked a kid with his jacket last week, and now he's doing that. Gunther tries to yeet, but it's a very simple gesture for very simple people. Gunther doesn't blame the people for not appreciating him. His performing for them is like reading Shakespeare to a dog. Gunther is the best wrestler in this company, and he's sick of wrestling people who can't lace his boots.
So that Shakespeare, reading Shakespeare to a dog thing, that's a slight shot at Zack Sabre Jr. Earlier in the week or last week prior
Mm-hmm.
to this Raw,
Mm-hmm.
Zack Sabre Jr. was on Twitter and he said people that complain about technical wrestling matches in North America is similar to reading Shakespeare to a dog.
I love Gunther. I love Gunther, man. He tried to talk and then beat into Jay the idea of making the right decision with his choice for WrestleMania. but he has now dug his own grave. Jay may be a superstar outside of the ring, but at WrestleMania, this match will happen in the ring. After that bell rings, he outclasses Jey Uso in every aspect of this sport. Jey Uso's blood will be on the fans' hands. Gunther asks fans if they think Jay has any chance of beating Gunther at WrestleMania. The fans cheer, of course. Gunther says the fans have no clue and wants a professional opinion. He has Pat in his unbiased professional opinion if Jay has a chance. Pat looks like a deer in headlights when he's asked this question. Gunther just throws the mic and tosses it to him. Michael tells Pat to be careful here, Pat, be careful. And Pat says he hopes Jay can beat Gunther. Gunther starts to take off his jacket like he's gonna beat down Pat, but Jay's music hits. He comes out with referees trying to hold him back, rushes the ring, and we get the usual tussle, the back and forth. Jay actually stands tall in the ring, and he eats with the fans as Gunther is ushered to the back.
This interaction with Pat was so fucking good because Pat, when he's just stood up, he's just like, uh, uh, uh,
Mm-hmm.
mm, mm.
Michael Cole
And
helped this too. Yeah.
Michael's like, Pat, be careful,
Mm-hmm.
Pat.
Hey man, choose your words carefully, right? Be careful. Kathy Kelly, she's backstage with Liv and Raquel. Liv dances around the topic of the Jade Cargill situation. Talks about how Raquel will beat Roxanne Perez later in the night.
And that leads us into the third match of the night: Penta versus Pete Dunne. This match was unsurprisingly good. And by that, I mean Pete Dunne is criminally underrated and underbooked, in my opinion, and does not get the fanfare he deserves. Isla Dawn posted on Twitter something very interesting. A little bit of poetry on the tail end of it. Apparently she is a writer, but she said something that struck a chord, and the fans need to realize this. She was like, "Where was all this love that I'm getting online? Oh, she was so great. Oh, she deserved to be in the championship picture. They shouldn't have released her." She's like, "Where is this love while we are still there?"
Yep.
And she's not wrong, because you hear the fans, they just pick apart shit when they're there. But as soon as they leave, there's like, "I can't believe they released her." It's just like, well, maybe if
Mm-hmm.
you guys fucking cheered for her, she would still be there. She's
Agreed.
not wrong. It,
Nope.
it happens so many times with talent. It's just like, how could they release her? It's just, how could they release him?
You
It's
didn't
because
have
you guys
shit
didn't
to say.
fucking, yeah. So,
You didn't
anyways,
love me. It's literally you didn't love me then, don't love me now.
yeah. Which I brought up because of Pete Dunne here. Pete Dunne is so good. I just don't think he gets
I
the
think
respect he deserves.
people have to know how good Pete Dunne is. I mean, the dude, especially UK fans know, obviously. He was the United Kingdom champion forever until Gunther beat him. He
Yeah.
was a mainstay in NXT putting on bangers. And he always puts on bangers, man. Always good matches. The what hurt him was the Bush character. That hurt him.
Yeah.
And I think
And
it's
who do we blame for that?
yeah, but I think it's more of a building him back up to let him know, hey, it's Pete Dunne, but he can't escape the Butch character because they don't let it go.
Yeah.
So
No, it's tough. It's tough, and I just hope he's not another casualty to the WWE, because he's not getting the fanfare. He
yeah,
deserves it. Penta and Pete Dunne didn't get a ton of time with this match, but with what they had, they put on a mini banner here. They really
oh
did.
yeah,
Finish came when Dunne went. Finish came when Dunne and Penta have some nice chain wrestling. We get a Dunne German suplex into a Penta kick, then a Dunne enziguri, and then finished off with a Mexican destroyer from Penta. Beautiful chain wrestling. It was just like boom, 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 boom. Um, and then of course, yep, Sierra Miero. Um,
Miero.
Miero.
You can't get away with that. Ciero Miero. It's Ciero Miero.
I'm sorry I have a speech impediment. Thanks for fucking making me feel like an asshole. You
You
don't
want to
notice
take?
that you notice I don't. I'm just bugging you, by the way. Chill the fuck out. But I do have a speech impediment. I have trouble with my R's, so when I say R's in
I
succession with
never
other
noticed that.
words, it will mess up. That's why I always like say things backwards, because
I
yeah.
never
Anyways,
noticed that.
but anyways,
You can't get
I'm
mad at
only.
me. You're trying to take my soul, dude. You can't get mad at me
Well, maybe I can fix my speech impediment. You
with my
fucking
soul
bastard. Yes,
because I
because you
don't
have
have
such a
one, and
silky smooth voice.
I'm not
You're like
Walker Stewart.
Walker over there.
No, no, further. Couldn't be further from the truth.
Um, but anyways, yeah. I have trouble with R's, so
Huh,
as you
never
can just
noticed
see, I
that.
don't R. I don't say it very well.
Matey.
But when there's an R like stereo, that first word screws me up, and then the second word will always come
Okay.
out messed up.
Never noticed it.
Anyways, Kaiser distract. It's 2025. You can't make fun of people's impediments.
Cry about it and write a book. I don't care.
Kaiser distracts Penta, which leads to Dunn getting off a devastating kick and a roll up for 2. Kaiser and Dunn are arguing, and see, now I'm just gonna
Just
yeah
keep talking. Just keep talking.
yeah. Now it's gonna bug me now. Kaiser and Dunn are arguing. See, I can't do it. And Penta sends Dunn into Kaiser, followed by a Penta driver for a 1, 2, 3. Kaiser attacks Penta post match, and Dunn attacks Kaiser, which then goes to prove my point from the week before. Is like, yeah, those two aren't joined up forces.
No.
Penta dives out onto both of them, and we go to commercial.
Yeah, you said it best. Mini banger here with the time they had. Clean. I mean, Penta has not had a misstep in my opinion since he showed up. He hasn't lost either. And I
Nope.
think booked for this coming Raw is a triple threat between the three: Penta, Kaiser, and Pete Dunne.
Was that made official?
I think it was made official by Mr. Pierce on the X machine. Backstage, Kathy Kelly. She's with Jay Uso. He feels underestimated. People are doubting him, but at WrestleMania, he's going to shock the world again. Pat, he breaks down Bailey's appearance at the NBA Celebrity All-Star Game. Not much to break down. She didn't get much action in, but she had some fun. She airballed a shot, but it was a pass. It was a pass. It was definitely a pass. We get
Hey,
a
it led to a
video.
basket.
It did. It was a pass. We get a video introducing us to the prodigy, Roxanne Perez, and nobody is on her level. The push is real. RK has been bringing it up a lot. The push is real, and you're going to find out why. The War Raiders.
I think I would not be shocked. I would not be shocked if she wins the elimination chamber.
I'd be so happy. I love Roxanne, but oof. The War
I
Raiders.
but I do respect talent.
The War Raiders talk about how the Creeds took them to their limit last week. However, the Creeds are not built for war. They had their shot and missed. They made the mistake of their lives. That next time they have a match, it will not be just a match. It'll be war.
And that leads us into our fourth match of the night. It's an elimination chamber qualifying match between Roxanne Perez versus Raquel Rodriguez. We got a classic David versus Goliath match here, and it did not disappoint. Roxanne took a lot of abuse early on and did not look like she was going to pull off any offense whatsoever. But the tides turned, and damn, it's been a hot minute since someone coming out of NXT looked that good in their first singles match on the main roster.
Man, you're right. I can't. Maybe Braun Breaker.
Yeah, I thought they were just gonna no offense for like the first
Yeah, but
few
you're
minutes,
right.
just getting
That's a good way to
destroyed, and
put
then
it. That's a really good point. The first singles match since coming out of NXT and having that good of a match, it's rare. She
yeah.
balled out.
Finish came with when Raquel hit a fallaway slam followed by a Vader bomb and an elbow drop for a 2 count. Raquel misses a spear and slams into the ring post shoulder first. Roxanne hits 2 dives to the outside as she gains momentum. Raquel attempts to slam, but Roxanne counters with a DDT followed by a fun little springboard moonsault for 2. And by fun, I do mean fun because she went hop, hop, moonsault. It was
Yep.
fun.
Boing, boing.
Pop Rocks gets blocked and Raquel hits a big boot for 2.
Yep.
Bianca and Naomi come out in Bring It On gear. If
Yep.
anybody doesn't know the original Bring It On movie with Kirsten Dunst and the really famous what's her name? Super famous.
I'm gonna know it, and I'm gonna be very upset here.
Gabe.
Gabrielle Union.
Yeah, I was just gonna say Gabrielle. I was getting
Damn.
there.
Wait, who else is in there? Jesse
Honestly,
Bradford.
I'm not gonna deny the fact that that might have been one of my favorite movies when it came out, even though it's like totally a teen drama comedy thing. But
I know
that
why it
movie's
was
fun.
your favorite movie. I know why it was your favorite movie.
That movie's hilarious. Have you actually seen it? That
Yeah, I
movie's
have.
funny as
It's
fuck.
funny, and I had and still do. I think Kristen Dunst is gorgeous. Gorgeous.
Alicia Dushku before Buffy the Vampire fame was in the
Yep.
show.
Yep.
And Jesse, the guy
Bradford.
in that movie, Jesse Bradford, hilarious in that movie. Actually,
Mhm.
really fucking funny. Yeah, a little walk down history lane there. Anyways, they surround Liv on the outside and start the beatdown. Raquel is distracted by this, and Roxanne does hit the pop rocks for the 1, 2, 3, and the upset victory.
Great match. Great match. Roxanne, you said she took the abuse and the comeback was on, and she's going to the Elimination Chamber.
I would not be shocked if she won it, man.
We'll end up putting a video out with our predictions and whatnot for Elimination Chamber, but man, it's a possibility for sure. Kathy Kelly, she's backstage with Seth Rollins. Tonight is Monday Night Rollins and Charlotte, he says. And this is as big as it ever gets. Finn Balor needs this win, but Seth, needs it more. Seth leaves and Karrion Cross appears. He's trying to wrap his head around the delirious mindset that Sammy is in. Sammy has his friends in here. Sorry, I said that wrong. Delirious mindset Sammy and his friends have. The friends that are supporting Sammy, thinking this is a good idea. Jay's not going to win at WrestleMania. Seth's not going to win at the Elimination Chamber, and neither is Sammy. But there's still time to turn things around. Tick tock. He's
So good.
incredible. He's incredible.
So
He
good.
put out a tweet today or yesterday saying basically it's came to my attention recently. This was gonna be a genuine. He's just like that. I see all the love and support that I got in the middle and the end of last year and the start of this year. I just want to say I see it, I recognize it, and I love it, and I appreciate you guys.
He's so fucking good.
Good. He deserves it. He deserves it. We get
I'm
a
just so
video.
happy that Triple H has stuck with him because it would have been so easy to just go, you lost it, man.
Mhm. This was a really cool promo. It was different. Video promo for Io Sky, and she's like underwater the whole time. Io says that she respects Rhea and knows her better than she knows herself. Every time these two have met in the past, Io has come out on top, which is true. And this time will be no different. She wants her championship back. Yeah, this promo was different.
It was definitely has not been done before.
Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston are here. They show us what happened after Raw went off the air last week when they beat up Rey Mysterio and the LWO was unsuccessful in making the save. Xavier hopes Rey gets well soon. The fans, of course, are booing out Xavier and Kofi's attempts to speak. The fans are mad. They told the truth about Big E and told him to keep his lazy ass at home. They told the truth about Rey, who sucks the life out of every luchador to enter WWE. Kofi says that they put yeah,
That
they
was
were going in.
wild.
Kofi says that they put Rey on a pedestal. Kofi has more title wins than Rey Mysterio. Fact. He's been here longer than Rey, which is fact. Um, the locker room leader. That this is the locker room leader. This is who you want to be the locker room leader. The difference between them is that Ray left and whatnot. Kofi says he should be the locker room Kofi should be. I feel like Bobby Boucher right now. Jesus.
Oh, I feel bad for laughing because I just gave you shit like 5 minutes ago.
Ray kicking them out of the locker room reader. Locker room is audacious. Xavier says it forced him to take a steel chair to his ankle. Kobe says they made Ray cry, and we should be thanking them for showing some mercy to Ray. They didn't take him out back and give him the old Yeller treatment, which was a crazy line. They gave him some vacation days. The fans should be on their knees thanking God for the new day. Yeah,
They continue to cook, man.
they're
Like
cooking.
not
Yeah,
that they needed the change,
yeah.
but the change has reinvigorated them.
Mm-hmm.
It's so good.
The LWO make their entrance. Dragon Lee tells them that they suck, and the LW starts a 3-on-2 beatdown. This just doesn't seem fair. And Kofi and Xavier get kicked out of the ring. Dragon Lee teases a dive, but the New Day literally run away. I mean, sprint away from this. Kofi was moving. Next week, as I said earlier, Raw is stacked this Monday. Raw will be in Cincinnati. They'll see Lyra Valkyria defend her IC championship against Dakota Kai. Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez will challenge Bianca Belair and Naomi for the women's tag championship as well. Also advertised, as I said, I'm pretty certain triple threat match between Penta, Ludwig, and Pete Dunne, and we're going to hear from CM Punk, Seth Rollins, and Logan Paul. Is what is being advertised right now. Kathy Kelly is backstage with Bianca Belair and Naomi, who say they'll beat the hell out of Liv inside the Elimination Chamber. It's like, we're going to beat them on Monday, but when we get to the chamber, we're going to beat her ass. We're going to
Facts.
bring it on, you know?
Fifth and final match of the night, the Elimination Chamber qualifying match between Seth Rollins and Finn Balor. Going into the match, I was wondering if we were going to get a little action after the match because the bell rang at about 22 minutes left for the show. Well, they went for that long, and every minute was worth it. This match was fantastic. Every griping fan, non-fan, IWC over the Finn Balor not kicking out in time to go pound sand. Like seriously, shit happens. You guys get all butthurt when somebody says something about AEW, but you have no problem flipping around and saying about WWE. So just shut the fuck up. It happens. If you actually go back and look at it, Seth's hair was all up in Finn's face, and if the ref counted fast or slow, but he couldn't see the counts, so they were looking for the near fall spot, it got missed. The ref did it. The ref took all the blame for it. He took it on himself in the middle of the match. He took all the boos from the fans. He deflected the situation to himself. It was great. He did his. It was Rob Zabata, I think, in the ring for that match.
Yep.
Yeah, fantastic job by him taking all the heat on it. Nonetheless, whatever. Unfortunately, in classic WWE fashion, we had like 3 commercials throughout this match, which to the tune of about 7 minutes of the match not being on TV, which is just, it's always wild. It kills the momentum.
You made the comments like, we got to watch this shit live.
I think we do because it kills the match. And NXT was really wild because they went to commercial like twice, and like they cut away and came back, and there was like, what's going on?
It's hard for us to watch it live though. You work, sometimes I have like a bowling thing. Like it's hard, but it does suck when you get commercials in the middle of a main event match like that.
Yeah. Finish came when before mentioned late kick out happened after a Seth Rollins pedigree. Seth is all over the referee here, and he eats the crowd's displeasure like a true professional. Taking the blame like that will help deflect it off of who was actually responsible for it. Seth goes for a stomp on Finn, but he's up with a kick to the ribs. Finn goes up top, and Seth follows, but quickly gets knocked back down, and Finn hits the coup de grace for a 2 count. Rollins gets a quick roll up for 2 after, and Finn counters with a crossface. Seth breaks the hold and gets off the stomp to Finn for the 1, 2, 3, and the final spot in the chamber match.
Great match. These two are so fantastic. Simple as that. They put on a banger. We knew there was a part of me that thought maybe Finn gets in this chamber and Seth doesn't, but all along Seth was going to be in that chamber match.
I think they're building Finn for the breakup of Judgment Day right now, and then
I still think Malachi Black's going to be involved in that, man. I think he's going to be a new member added in. I really do.
Do you see Dom posted on Twitter?
No.
He said 3 words: not a chance, or no thank you, to the thoughts of Malachi being in Judgment Day.
Really?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm not going to go looking. I can't find it. Yes, I can. Unless he blocked me on Twitter.
Anyways, that's the show. After the show finished, all I could think of was how extremely well everything flowed. I think from the promos to the matches, everything just blended together perfectly and made this a very easy watch. Stories were progressed. The Elimination Chamber PLE continues to shape up, and the matches were all quality. I'm sure I said to him, like, holy fuck, that show just
Yep.
Like nothing, never missed a beat. It was just boom, 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 boom.
Yep.
And yeah, watching that show and then instantly, if you were to instantly watch SmackDown right after, you'd be like, is this the same fucking company? What the fuck's going on?
Yeah, thank God we got NXT in between to talk about. A couple notes real quick before we dive into what happened on NXT. I totally didn't talk about the ratings, RK, um, in the news.
Oh,
I know I
oh,
missed it. If
oh.
you care, SmackDown. This was from Valentine's Day because we don't know SmackDown from past Friday. We know the week prior. They did a 1,422,000 with a 0.43. Normal. I got a feeling the rating once we do the show next week for the past SmackDown is going to be it's going to be pretty big. NXT on the CW network did 689,000 with a 0.7. AW Dynamite did 563,000 with a 0.17. They are dropping, and
So is
dropping.
NXT. They dropped a lot from the previous week.
They did. They did drop a lot. The difference. Let's see. The previous week NXT did 801,000.
Ooh.
So yeah, big drop. Um, previous week Dynamite did 579,000 down to a 563,000. Maybe just people didn't feel like watching.
Yikes. Yikers.
It's all right. And I wanted to add a couple things here. Just because I was looking over and saw something that made me go, huh, interesting. And I wanted to read this out to you. This is some NXT live event results from this past weekend on the 22nd. If you care, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't correlate really anything with the show. They just kind of put on some matches and have some fun with a live crowd. It's a live show. Javier Bernal, who's been cleared and back in wrestling, he had a match with Riley Osborne. So Osborne's having matches at least on the live tour. Haven't seen him in a while. You'll like this one though. Sol Ruka.
We're getting something with Chase U
Oh, we're gonna
again.
talk about it. We're gonna talk about it when we get to NXT. I'm looking forward to it. Sol Ruka and Zarya defeated Laney Reed, who's an up and coming talent they have, and Stevie Turner.
Hey, Stevie's wrestling again.
Stevie got in a match. Nico Vance defeated Drake Moreau. Lexus King defended his Heritage Cup against Joe Coffey.
Okay.
JC Jane defeated Brenley Reese.
Nice.
Nathan Frazier and Axiom defeated Hank and Tank. Wesley, Tyreek, and Tyson DuPont defeated the team of Cale Dixon, Uriah Connors, and Andre Chase.
Oh.
Lola Vice defeated Jasmine Nix, and
She hasn't been on TV lately. It's been weird.
apparently Julia was in the corner of Lola Vice there. And then the main event was a lumberjack match. Ethan Page defeated Javon Evans.
Nice.
So some live event stuff that happened over the weekend. Also, you probably saw it. If you didn't, go search it out. Thea Hale did a "Come with Me shopping in the middle of the night at Target" video.
Oh yeah, I follow her on Instagram. I get them.
It was pretty funny. She was having a good time in Target, which
She
seemed
is
like
actually.
it was her
She.
and whoever was running the camera were the only
Yeah.
people in this Target.
Yeah, she has a fun time on Twitter. She's always at Disney World or some festival or shopping
She's living her
or
life,
drinking
man.
coffee.
Living her life. Jealous of the life that these people get to live over there in Orlando, Florida, having a good old time. All right, let's talk about NXT live from the Capital
Hey,
Wrestling
nothing's
Center.
stopping you from going to move to Orlando.
There's a lot stopping me from moving to Orlando. I don't have a job in Orlando waiting for me.
You can find one.
I could.
Look, you don't have a mortgage. You don't have a family.
Yeah,
You don't have. You literally could go anywhere and just do something. You'd
you're right.
figure it out.
You're right.
It's a little harder when you're in my position where it's just like, well, I'd have to uproot
Yeah.
everything that I've done for the last 20 years.
What does one do about like a car payment in this state?
Huh?
Like a car payment. Like, does it not change? Like, if I move to a different state, like how do I go about that? That's a
Isn't
genuine
it just
question.
a loan from the from the dealer?
Right. So, like, I mean, I know I
So
still pay my loan. I just would have to pay to get the plates switched in Florida, I assume.
I would assume so. Yes. I would assume that it's very similar here. You pay the loan to the dealership you bought it from.
Yeah, I
That
guess
just
the
comes out of your bank account every 2
month.
weeks or whatever,
Yeah.
and your
Just
insurance is just through the state.
I would just drive the car down there, and I'd have to get
Oh yeah,
insurance.
your own insurance is probably good for like 30 days when you get there.
Yeah, that makes sense. I don't know how it works. Ins and outs. Maybe you just convinced me to uproot everything and live out of my car in Florida, then get an apartment and then a
It's
job.
just you.
Probably
Just go.
job first. Probably job
Probably
first.
job first. It's
Probably have
Florida.
the
You can
job.
live in your car for like ever.
Yeah. True. True.
I mean, there are hurricanes that you might have to worry about though.
When you're in your car, you just drive away from
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
it.
If I was single, I'd be finding my way down to the States right now. Nothing against Canada, but
Yeah, I get it. In my case, I would like to get out of this Indiana state because it's so cold
in
sometimes.
Florida, no state taxes. Like,
No
what
state
are you doing?
tax. People hype that up, the no state tax thing, but the prices are inflated though.
Oh, 100%, but you're still paying no state tax, just like
No state
Texas. Move
tax.
to Texas. There's no state taxes in Texas either.
I say you uproot everything. I'll meet you in Texas. We'll figure it out.
I wish I could, man. I would
Let's
do
talk
it in a
about it.
heartbeat. Do
Let's
it in a
talk
heartbeat.
about NXT live from the Capitol Wrestling Center. Of course, go right into a montage from what happened on Vengeance Day, including the NXT Tag Team Championship match and the new group's arrival. No name yet. Stephanie McCour winning the North American title. Ethan Page beating Javon Evans. Eddie Thorpe with the upset win over Trick. Oba retaining the NXT Championship. And Julia retaining the NXT Women's Championship before Jordan Grace arrived. Oba Femi arrives and he's first to the ring. He tells him in the back, "Hit my music." He's on the way to the ring. Apparently, we don't know much more about the four PC guys. Oba wants to get right to business though, and he says, "Four fools that jumped him made a big mistake. They didn't finish the job." That seems to be a reoccurring thing that wrestlers love to say.
It
"Oh,
does,
you
yeah.
jumped me, but you didn't finish the job." They hit him with their best shot, and he's still standing unfazed. He tells the four
Sounds like
fools.
Drake's Zeus.
He tells the four fools to come to the ring, finish what they started, and he'll wait. The lights go out. And Moose is here, the TNA X Division champion. He comes down the ring, steps inside, staring off with Femi. Crowd chanting, "Holy shit." Moose says he just burst the bubble Oba's living in because he's the one man Oba can't rule over. Oba says the place where Moose is in, though, is the man in his bubble. In here, he is inevitable. Thanos again. Moose says this has to happen. Obafemi versus Moose. They stare off, and Oba says, "Don't worry, it will." They stare off and raise their titles high. Moose.
Remember when you asked who could beat Oba?
Well, we know Tony D. Um, maybe
Moose
Moose.
could beat Oba.
Moose could beat Oba. Moose could beat Oba. There's a list of guys that could beat Oba, but in the current space that we're in NXT, and well, you didn't think, yeah, TNA. You're right. Also, we'll have a new updated graphic next week, I assume. RK, once he gets home, he'll be able to work on that. Because Fallon Henley, you're not the North American Women's Champion, sweetheart. It's Stephanie Vaquer. Don't know why that distracted me, but it did. The NXT Spotlight has Eddie Thorpe talking about talking with Ava earlier about his win. Ava tells him to chill before Kel Dixon and Uriah Connors burst in and invite Ava to a party. She says no. Eddie berates them over it. Why would you invite your boss to a party? What the hell? Then they ask him to play music at the party because he is a DJ. What's funny about that, RK, is we were talking about that. Remember, we're
Yeah,
like, when he was the DJ, and then
yeah. For like 3 weeks.
he says no, of course, and says, "Shouldn't they be in class?" Kel says no because Mr. Chase. Eddie says Mr. Chase would have ruined their lives. Uriah says that Andre would have won the strap match, and that turns into a Chase versus Thorpe match being set up. Yeah, Uriah was very offended by this comment by Eddie Thorpe. You never.
It's good stuff, and it makes you. It's Chase U's coming back, right? They're
I
coming
think so.
back. Thea, Riley, Duke.
The
Okay, Thea, Riley,
I don't
and
think
and
Thea and Riley will be a part of it.
Nuke Rudson.
I don't think they'll be a part of it. I think it'll be Chase U, but it'll be new with like Uriah Connors, Kel Dixon.
Nah, no, Thea, no, Thea, no, Thea's coming back.
Moving on to greener pastures.
Match one of the night, NXT Women's North American Championship #1 contenders match. Jada Parker versus Carmen Petrovich versus Kalani Jordan. This match started like, who's going to win? neither of us picked the woman that was going to
Nope.
win. This match worked very well with these three women. They all are very skilled and they played off each other to their strengths very well. The story of Kalani and Jada's feud going on, costing them a chance at the North American Championship with Carmen, Ash- along with Ashanti's help taking advantage of that, is good enough for where they are going. Um, finish came when Carmen gets nailed with a big shot from Kalani. She retaliates by throwing Kalani outside of the ring and follows her out with a basement drop kick. Before she capitalized, Jada smacks her, and hits a teardrop with Carmen hung up on the middle rope. Kalani back in the action goes to the top rope, but Ashanti pulls Carmen to safety. Jada goes up top as well and hits Kalani with the superplex. She sets up Kalani on the middle rope to hit a teardrop on her.
Mhm.
Ashanti throws Carmen back into the ring and distracts Jada. Carmen capitalizes on this and gets the 1, 2, 3 for her shot to face Stephanie Vaquer.
Well,
Jada,
all right. Good
yeah,
luck.
she's just facing her. That's all that's happening. Um, Jada attacks Carmen after the match, but Kalani comes flying in and tackles Jada. They go brawling on the outside before officials break it up.
All right, there's a lot that happens here, so bear with me here. So that we see Jordan Grace walking backstage, but then they cut back to the ring. Fatal Influences assaulted Carmen. They're beating Carmen down in a 3-on-1. Fallon lays her out. We take a commercial break. During the break, though, the group beat up Carmen and hit Ashante with a chair. They continue to assault Carmen. Fallon mocks Carmen on the mic until Stephanie Vacour and Julia come in to back her up. Then we come back from this said commercial break. Fatal Influence has got the 3-on-2 advantage, but Jordan Grace's music hits. She comes, makes a save. They lay out Fatal Influence, who escaped to the outside. Grace says she came to NXT to become part of the best women's division in wrestling, and now she doesn't waste it in a second. She says she wants to fight. Fatal Influence acts like they want to fight. We, meaning her, Stephanie, and Julia, want to fight, so we will. We'll fight tonight. This will set up a 3-on-3 match later in the show.
So much happened during the commercial breaks.
Yes, and we weren't live, so it was a weird cut. It was like we saw him beating up Carmen, and Ashanti's like, "Hey, hey, get some help out here." We get a cut, and then Stephanie and Julia are in there getting beat up, and I'm like, "What the fuck happened?" And then we get Jordan Grace. So yeah, it was a lot. Stax is lacing up his boots backstage, and Rizzo asks, "Is he sure about this?" He is. Luca asks about the boss, and Stax says he hadn't heard from him, but time marches on, and their business waits for no one.
I like saying Stack's getting a little bit of responsibility here. He's good.
Mm-hmm.
Second match of the night, Last Legend and Jakara Jackson versus Sol Ruka and Zarya. Um, these two teams got some time to shine and they did not disappoint.
Mm-hmm.
The title scene is absolutely stacked right now, so this is a good way to keep Zarya and Lash busy until they can slide into the picture there. Respectable win for Zarya and Sol Ruka here against a team that has made appearances on the main roster. Big power struggle moments that looked really good between Zarya and Lash.
Yes.
uh, it's so dry in this hotel room. I'm not even kidding. Finish came when Lash gets tagged in by Jakara, and they go for their wheelbarrow finisher on Zarya, but she muscles free. Lash nails Zarya, and they both go for pump kicks and both drop hard. That was a cool spot. Like
Mm-hmm.
they nailed it. Perfect timing. It looked so good. They're back to their knees and each go for dual headbutts. Zarya wrestles Lash into a pin, but she quickly escapes and tags in Shakara, who charges in but is shoved into Lash. Big spear from Zarya, followed by the F5. Soul tagged in, and she hits the Soul Snatcher for the 1, 2, 3, and the victory.
Great match. I love the dynamic of can Soul and Zarya be a good tag team together?
They're really
Yep.
starting to click.
Yep. Um, both of them are destined for single stuff, though, in my opinion. Maybe this is just a way to keep them away from the single stuff for a minute. I don't know, but they're both destined for greatness on in the singles aspect. I think. Backstage, Sarah is catching up with Wes, Tyson, and Tyreek, and asks them about the change in NXT. Wes says the unpredictability is perfect for them, And as he's saying this, the unnamed individual, Ricky Starks, as we knew him, walks by and Sarah asks him about signing his contract, completely just brushing off the conversation she was having with Wes. Says it's nice to meet her, and he knows she must have a lot of questions, which he'll try and answer in a few minutes. And he tells her, "Hey, nice jacket."
This was a kind of a recurrent theme for Ricky throughout the night, and I actually dig it.
It's,
Just little. It's just like nice jacket. He's like, man, this place is crazy.
yeah,
Shit like that. Just fun. It's
damn.
fun.
We got a clip from WWE LFG. We have not watched the latest episode, but from what I understand, some teams are picked, and I will spoil it for you, RK, if you haven't seen it already. We talked about it last week. BJ Ray is on Team Bubba.
Oh my god, it's scripted. It's like every reality show.
Come on. We knew it was coming after the back and forth. And when he was selected for Bubba's team, he got out of the ring, and Bubba still wouldn't shake his hand.
It's so good. Bubba's just playing it. It's great.
Ava makes her way down to the ring to do the contract signing with the crowd chanting "Final Boss," which kind of funny. Final
Hey,
Boss.
you know what? What's really cool about that is they've been trying to pitch Ava as
Yep.
the thoughts is that this is what they want to pitch Ava as, and the fans are buying into it already.
Yep.
It's great.
Ricky, he comes down to the ring to the NXT theme song. He does not have a theme song here. He steps into the ring. Ava introduces the hottest free agent in pro wrestling. Ricky says he hasn't been here for too long, but NXT is amazing. Before he gets started, he wants to talk and get some things off his chest. He says standing right here isn't the dream, it's reality. Main eventing every NXT PLE, that's reality. Winning the NXT championship, that's reality. And the truth of it all is, he's the man in NXT. And he's going to do
Hold
what he
on.
does.
Ethan Page has already done all this.
Mm-hmm. And he's going to do what he does always to the best of his ability, and that's show in and show out because a revolution has begun. So let's get this pin. Here comes Ethan Page.
First time I ever saw Ricky Starks was in AEW, but I didn't think highly of him. I'm like, I don't get it. I don't know if that was AEW presenting him in a bad light or not understanding how to use him or what it was. Right off the hop here, he comes off as a big deal. A big deal. He looks good. He's good on the mic already. You can see it.
The moment that I knew he was legit was the promo he had with MJF actually in AEW. When him and MJF were going back and forth, and everybody clamors about how MJF is so good, great on the mic, right? Which he is. MJF is good on the mic. But Ricky Starks on the mic promo battle per se with MJF, Ricky won. Ricky beat him, and I was in my mind, and I was like, "Oh shit, this guy's good." What sucks, man, is when we started watching AEW, we don't anymore. But when we were, I think we got one Ricky Starks match, maybe.
I don't even remember it. If he did, I don't remember it.
But then he's off TV, and I'm really excited. He'll be in a match next week. We'll get to that here in a minute, but yeah. And you are right when you said he's saying all the things that Ethan Page already did, but I think that's a part of the plan, in my eyes.
Oh, 100% it is. But Ethan Page already done it.
Yep.
You're
And
second best, Ricky.
Here he comes with the microphone
You
in
know,
his hand,
Saint.
saying, "Wow, wow, wow!" He's impressed. He says Ricky shocked the world and is the ring about to sign an NXT contract. He says that he imagines in that contract somewhere is that his first match will be for an NXT championship. He says Ricky is a genius as he's following the Ethan Page playbook. But there's only one Ethan Page. Ricky says, "Oh, you must be in your feelings." And he's wearing, he says that Ethan is in his feelings. He's wearing his insecurities as tight as his jacket. He says
Good
Ethan
line.
should know him well enough to know he's taking this place to another level. Page says even he won't be able to reach the bar that he had set. Or Page says he won't be able to reach the bar that he said. You're not going to reach it, which I don't think Ricky will reach that level because Page was what NXT champion in like so many days. Ricky ain't gonna be
first PLE, first 2 weeks of being in the company.
Ricky ain't gonna be that. I promise you. I'm sorry. He ain't beat Nova. Ricky says they shouldn't do this right now. He's about to sign his contract, and Ethan He beat Javon. They should be celebrating, but he says someone like Javon always comes back to get that revenge. Ethan says that Javon couldn't walk out of the arena, so of course here's Javon Evans. He attacks Ethan Page and beats him through the audience. In the ring, Ava and Ricky just kind of, all right, well, that happened. Let's get back to it. And then Wesley comes out, and Ricky's like, oh my God. He says there are rules around here. Number one rule is don't disrespect Wesley. He says signing this contract might be a good idea, but if he does, Wes wants to show him the ropes. Ricky asks if everyone is angry. Is everyone just angry around here? He says Wes and Ethan are two peas in a pod. Next week, him versus Wes. Wes says sign the contract, but it's going to be a one and done. He says next week Wes will be welcome to the revolution. Wes attacks, but he gets knocked out of the ring. Ricky signs the contract, and it is no longer Ricky Starks. It is Ricky Saints. And after hearing the interview he did literally right after NXT with Bully Ray, the meaning behind Ricky Saints,
Don't.
no, no, it was his choice. It was his idea.
No, 100%. But don't.
Then what? I like it. Tell me not to like it. I like it.
No.
The meaning behind
I
it makes
thought
sense.
you were gonna go a different route. Never mind. You're fine. He's
But he
from New
does.
Orleans, the city of
Yeah,
the Saints.
yeah.
It's
I get it. He apparently he owns the rights to Ricky Starks.
he does 100%.
So yeah, totally his decision to switch it up. And a part of me does get switching it up, but a part of me is like, well, you had all the whatever. I get it. It's a new start for him. Do your thing. I don't hate the name. It'll be fine. People hated Gunther and Walter. Whatever. We'll be okay. We'll get over it. Sarah congratulates Fraxium on defending the title and asks about the attack after. Fraser's angry and Axiom says they're trying to figure it out. The NQCC walk up and Fraser says just because they want a title shot doesn't mean they have one. Miles wants to face the best tag team in the world and not them. Tavion Heights says they're calling out the Hardys for next week. All right, let's cook. Ricky Saints is backstage and a bunch of NXT talent are laid out. And his quote was, damn, this place is crazy. And he walks away.
Those little just things, they're good. They're fun.
I think we get one more later in the show too.
We do, yeah. Third match tonight: Sean Spears versus Channing Stacks Lorenzo. Seems to be a recurring theme for Stacks here lately. He gets the underdog push in his matches, but can't ever get over the hump with a win. Predictable outcome here, and the match was about as good as it could be for only a 5-minute match. Finish came when Spears throws Stacks over the top rope onto the apron. Spears moves in, but Stacks fight back and leaps over the ropes for a lung blower. The family argues with Team Spears on the outside as Stacks throws a combo together on Spears, ending with an enziguri. Spears back up and Stacks hits an uppercut and a spine buster. Stacks to the top and attempts a missile drop kick, but Spears sidesteps that and then counters with a brainbuster onto his knee. Spears hits the C4 for the 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, I mean, I think Stacks is good. Sean Spears is great. We know he is, but Stacks for 5 minutes, Stacks looked good.
He did. He always lately. He's been getting like the last 3 matches straight. He's been up against tough opponents. He gets his offense in and just can't pull out a win.
Yeah. Moose walks backstage and Lexus King welcomes him. He mentions beating JDC, but says Moose has balls challenging Obafemi. But he doesn't see Moose putting his title up on the line. Moose says, shut up, and all you have to do is ask. He'll put the title up next week. King says he's on and points out that it's in his hometown. They're in Ohio, where he's undefeated.
You're not beating Moose, Lexus.
Moose and Lexus King is on the docket now for this NXT show for the X Division Championship.
NXT is stacked.
Oh, it's gonna get a little more sex. Andre Chase asked Kale Dixon and Uriah Connors why they're speaking on his behalf. They say, "Well, bro, Eddie Thorpe was talking shit." And Chase immediately flips a switch. It's like, "They were talking shit about Chase, you, huh? Now I'm about to roll. Like, what's up?" Before calming back down and going, "Chase U's dead, but I'm gonna handle this on my own." It's like, all right.
JC's coming back. It's coming back. Fourth match tonight, Andre Chase versus Eddie Thorpe. The emotion was there for this
Ah,
match, and
just go. Just go.
the hype for Andre Chase still exists with the fans. Again, a short match that was as good as a short match can be. The finish probably was never in doubt because they were doing something here with Chase before the big comeback. One can
Yep.
hope.
Yep.
Finish came when Kale and Uriah come through the crowd into ringside. The security in the corner were not sure who they were at first, and it looked like they were legit going to stop them from hopping the barricades. I was like,
Yep.
are they? They don't know who the
Oh,
fuck their own talent is.
oh,
Do you need a moment over there?
Chase you, man.
Wow. Okay. I'm so lost now. This fires up Chase in the rain, and he starts to take over the match and hits some big clotheslines and gets a near fall. Eddie fights back a bit, but then Chase hits the Russian leg sweep, and will he do it? He stops, looks conflicted, and doesn't do it. Eddie capitalizes on the confusion, hits a chop block, and gets a 2 count. Back up, Eddie hits a German suplex and an impact DDT for the 1, 2, 3. Come on, Chase. Come on, buddy. You're come back. Come back to us. Um,
Sorry.
seriously, you okay there?
Fine, fine.
I never seen you get so worked up over something not said. Liv Morgan. Um, Trick Williams appears on the Tron and says it's not over, and if he goes down, he's taking Eddie with him.
Good. Good. Backstage, Ricky Saints is with Ava, and he's just kind of like, I don't know how you deal with this chaos. Ava says, you'll get used to it. Ethan walks up and says, I'm not interested in you. I want Javon. Wesley walks up. They start arguing. Ricky the whole time is like, "Fuck, what are you? What? Like, come on." Ava says, "We're not doing this here." Javon comes in. Ava says, "Next week, Ethan Page, Wesley taking on Ricky Saints and Javon Evans. Another banger match scheduled for NXT." And screw it, let's just have one more banger match, huh? The Hardys, they're on NXT TV. Matt says he didn't expect to get called out, but he's flattered. He asks Jeff if they should accept the challenge, and Jeff says, hell yes. Matt tells Fraxium to pull up a front row seat and watch them beat NQCC and realize that they're the GOATs. Jeff says, maybe we'll just see the Hardy Party in NXT. Yeah, that's happening.
Unreal.
So here, to recap, massive NXT. I don't know what's going on, but they're going big here. The TNA World Tag Team Championship match, Hardy Boys defending against No Quarter Catch Group. NXT Women's North American match, Championship match, Stephanie McCourt defending against Carmen Petrovich. We have the NXT X Division Championship match, Moose versus Lexus King. And then Ricky Saints and Javon Evans teaming to take on Wesley and Ethan Page. Like, whoa, what? What? I don't know if there's anything else that's been added or said, or if they need to add anything else. But Jesus, man, NXT is going to be a banger. Looking
It's
forward
gonna
to
be a
it.
banner. Absolute banner. Uh, fifth match of the night, main event. Stephanie Vercure, Julia, and Jordan Grace versus
Yeah,
Fatal Influence, Fallon Henley, Jasmine Nix, and JC Jane. They all got time to shine in this one. This match was a fantastic and fast-paced, hard-hitting match all around from all 6 of them. The winners were never in doubt.
no,
Like, come on. But they kept it engaging until the very end here. This had big time main event match written all over it and going into it, and they did not disappoint. Finish came when Fallon hit Vakir with the pump handle suplex, with Julia attacking Fallon right afterwards, taking her out. JC moves in, but Julia with ability to back suplex. Um, Julia takes aim at JC on the outside, but Fallon trips her up and they send her into the ring steps. Vaquera takes JC and Fallon out of the match with a top rope crossbody to the outside. In
clean,
the ring, Jordan hits the juggernaut driver on Nix for the
clean.
1, 2, 3, and the
Yeah,
win. Um, Post match, the parking lot brawl is on, and we get to Ava's office, which has been absolutely destroyed. Mr. Stone is laid out, and Ava comes in and asks, what the fuck happened here?
Yeah, you gotta be careful in that parking lot. But it looks like this new foursome, this group, they tore up Ava's
I'm liking
office,
it.
and
I'm
it's
liking it.
interesting. It's very interesting. It's different than Retribution. I know we're getting the vibes, but I'm intrigued to see where the hell this ends up.
We're tetradition.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah, I don't know. Chaos in wrestling can be a double-edged sword. More often than not, it can lead to some sloppy in-ring action. But tonight it was executed with perfection, and the stuff didn't feel rushed or have a lack of focus on the stories. We had good matches tonight, good promos, and the introductions of New Orleans Golden Son, Ricky, Don't Call Me Stark, Saints. Another quality show from NXT, which is never really a surprise.
Yeah, never really a surprise here. Banger, great show. Really looking forward to the next episode of NXT. I mean, wow.
Yeah,
Real quick, RK, before we get into SmackDown, we're gonna have a little breath. Take a little breath, real quick. I just want to update you on some things that happened. We're not gonna go through the whole show, but I don't know if you noticed or saw anything that happened on TNA. A couple things of note. Joe Hendry uh, defended the world title against Ryan Nemeth. Ryan Nemeth cashed in his brother's rematch clause. So that happened. Joe Hendry defeated Ryan Nemeth. And then he defended the title again against Hammerstone. And the system attacked him, but the Hardys, Elijah and Leon Slater, helped him out because this is, we talked about in the news, formerly known as Elias, Walk with Elias. He's now TNA. And he did a little song and dance with the champ. What else do we have here? Just making sure I have this right. Yeah. This was from this past week. I just didn't want to be wrong. This was also where AJ Francis came out and was like first guest on the Penthouse segment. Uh, he's some may call him phenomenal. It's AJ Francis. He did it himself, so that happened. You didn't like? What did you respond? He missed the, or he fucked up, or something like that. I
he
sent you
did
the
fuck
clip.
up. He did fuck up. He fucked up, and I'm just like, nah, amateur hour.
um, Matt Hardy and Jeff Hardy defeated the Clones. They showed up. Um,
The colons.
Mike Santana, he had a match, and after the match, Mustafa Ali announced that the Anthem officials who own TNA are requiring Santana to take a urine test.
Oh, it's so good.
NXT champion Obafemi appeared, but he got interrupted by Moose in the system. The segment ended with Moose holding up both the X Division title and Femi's NXT championship. Now, here's the catch here. A double championship match now has been set for NXT Roadblock. Yeah. The NXT Championship and the X Division Championship will both be on the line at NXT Roadblock. So we are finally now
They're gonna
in
make
the,
a goddamn fucking star out of Oba.
either something could happen to call the match off. I don't know. It could be a DQ. Who knows? But I think we're looking at potentially Obafemi holding a TNA title and an NXT title.
I wouldn't be surprised. Make him look like a goddamn beast.
Yeah, it's very interesting to see what happens. Other than that, nothing
Although
else.
I wouldn't be against seeing a TNA star holding onto an NXT title. I think that'd be more
Would it
interesting.
be Moose though holding it? I don't know. It's very interesting. Um, Cora Jade
Why
teamed
couldn't
up
Moose
with,
hold it? Why couldn't Moose hold one?
because it just, I don't know if I don't see him beating Oba. That's why.
I do. Moose is a monster, dude.
Agreed, but fuck, what do you do with Oba?
Well, he's pissed and wants his title back.
He comes to the main roster. Fuck it,
That too.
do it. A couple other things to note: Tessa Blanchard and Cora Jade teamed up together, taking on Masha Slamovich and Lei Yingli. I'm just scrolling through as I talk here. We didn't prep this. I just wanted to kind of go through a couple things. Yeah, that looks like it's about it. And this was taped at Full Sail University as well. So right around the corner from the Performance Center. Yeah, all that happened and whatnot. Now I could have mixed some things
You
up.
think? You think we'll ever? No. Do you think we'll ever get TNA from the Performance Center?
Maybe that's possible. Anything's fucking possible now, but it's very possible. There's a cool little what's haps in TNA leading towards sacrifice, and now
I
the
did make a
reason
graphic and everything at one point.
the main reason I wanted to bring it up was the fact that Moose and Oba, two titles on the line at Roadblock.
That's wild.
It
It's
is wild. What day is NXT Roadblock? Do you remember off the top of your head?
It's like the
just
second week of March, I think. It's like 3 weeks away.
March 11th. March
Yeah,
11th.
three weeks away. Look at me.
Just a Tuesday. Just a Tuesday special. That's gonna be wild. We'll see what happens there. All right, ladies and gentlemen, take a deep breath. Take a deep breath. Breathe in, breathe out, because we're gonna talk about Friday Night SmackDown. Commentary welcomes us to New Orleans, and they remind us.
Oh no. Say it correctly.
New Orleans.
No, say it correctly.
New Orleans.
No, say it correctly.
You say it then.
It's Narlands.
Commentary welcomes to New Orleans and reminded us that The Rock will be here. By the way, this is a recurring theme that RK brought up every time. They remind you throughout the show, hey, the final boss is here. We see various wrestlers arriving, of course.
Get it.
Tiffany Stratton, Bianca,
I'm the queen.
Naomi, Cody Rhodes. Cody finds Nick Aldis, and Nick says Cody is out of the six-man tag match. Cody's pissed, but Nick says there's no way around this. The ruling is coming from the final boss. Said the final boss wants to see Cody in the ring at some point. Curious who they will sub in for Cody in that six-man. They don't sub anybody in. It just turns into a tag team match. Just a heads up.
Psst,
So yeah,
I didn't prep. I didn't prep this review for you, so.
no, you're good. You're good.
Rare occurrence on one of the two major shows. We get a match right off the hop. Drew McIntyre versus Jimmy Uso here. Decent match, but mostly forgettable, if that makes sense.
This whole show is a bit forgettable, but it's confusing. We'll get to it. It's
yeah.
that's something.
I had in my head the whole time near the end of this match, I'm like, holy fuck, Jimmy's gonna win this match. And then it was literally like 2 minutes later, Jimmy won the match. I was like, what? It actually happened? Yep. Finish came when Jimmy goes up to the top but misses a flying whisper in the Uso, they call it. Yeah. And then Drew lands a neck breaker and kips up. Drew wants to Claymore but runs into a super kick, then lands a headbutt and tracks shock Jimmy before laying in more strikes in the corner as he tries another inverted Alabama slam, but Jimmy rolls through it into a victory roll for the 1, 2, 3. Post-match, Drew snaps and beats the crap out of Jimmy, then sets his head against the ring post and sets the Claymore into him. But a bunch of officials run down to save Jimmy from destruction. Drew goes to leave, but then runs back to hit a regular Claymore on Jimmy. Yeah, it's just shocking that Jimmy got the win here, but I see what they're going for because Drew got all his heat back right after the match.
All right, so the main event is now Damian Priest and Braun Strowman versus Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu. That's probably going to be violent. And then we get a recap of the ending of the main event last week. We see Solo arrive, but he's all by himself. As he walks in, he finds Tama and Jacob. Solo says last week was an accident. Solo smoke and spike Tama on accident. Fatu says, we're all good because if it was an accident, Solo wouldn't be standing right here. Right.
That was a wild line. Wild line.
I was like, okay, fair, fire. Solo and Fatu confirm that they'll be the tag team in the main event. Solo says that's why he loves Jacob and he will go talk to Aldis. Fatu clearly does not love Solo anymore in the eyes. You could just see it in his eyes. Then we go to a break. Yeah. Yeah. Post break, hype for Elimination Chamber, of course. We get a video from earlier. Carmelo Hayes, our Truth comes up to Carmelo Hayes. Truth says, "We're about to have our first match." Carmelo's like, "We had a match last week." They do the whole "I'm him" thing again and whatever. Miz will team with Carmelo Hayes, while Truth will go find his partner. Miz is trying to get over Melo don't Miz, but Carmelo's just not having it.
Yeah, it's
Miz
good shit there.
Miz heads to the ring for the match. Hayes just storms by him after he got to do this silly little twirl. Truth's partner will be revealed later on. We get a really cool Selena Vega hype video, so hopefully we get a cool push for Zelina coming back.
Cyberpunk vibes
Yeah.
all the way through it.
Back to the ring. Truth comes out. He's got a mic, plays with the crowd, and he says his tag team partner is a local legend from New Orleans. His name, Louisiana Knight. LA Knight comes out and he's just laughing. Truth hands him a po' boy, and LA Knight like takes a big old bite of it. It's just comedy gold from our Truth.
That's what the LA stands for, huh? I thought Knight was from Maryland, but
Yeah, and then he moved to Los Angeles.
anyways, second match of the night, we got Miz and Carmelo, better as Mellow Don't Miz, versus R-Truth and LA Knight. Finish came when Truth hits the shoulder blocks and protobomb into the 5-knuckle shuffle. He tries for the attitude adjustment, but Hayes slips freeze and Truth hits the lie detector and locks in an SDF. Miz breaks up the hold and Knight then clotheslines him out of the ring and follows him to ram him into the barricade. Shinsuke Nakamura from the crowd kicks Knight a few times and Truth is all alone in the ring. Miz tags in and he and Hayes hit a skull crushing finale and codebreaker combination for the win. I think I think Mellow Don't Miz could actually be something.
Fucking started growing on me, dude. It really did. It really did in this match, especially when they celebrated afterwards. I was like, "Holy shit, is it actually a thing?"
Oh, that was great. Yeah, Mello was posing. Miz was trying to get in. Mello would block. Miz trying to get in. Mello blocked, and then Miz just like, nah, fuck it, and just leaves. And he's just like, oh.
It was good.
It
Mellow
was
Don't
fun.
Miz. That's got a T-shirt written all over it.
It does, 100%. Truth eating a loss here. The dude's bulletproof. He could lose every night of the year and
Yeah,
still be over.
agreed.
And yeah, we're obviously going to get Nakamura versus Knight eventually here for the rematch. So
We see Tiffany Stratton walking around in the back. She'll be in action after we come back from the commercial break. We come back from that break and we get another one of the Charlotte Flair videos. The GOAT doesn't call themselves the GOAT type deal. Tiffany Stratton heads to the ring and she gets a mic. It says everyone knows it's Tiffy time. Everyone's been obsessed with her since she won the title. Last week she had Nia Jax beaten before Candice got involved, but her Elimination Chamber, she and Trish Stratus are making sure that those two come to an end. But right now she wants to talk about Charlotte Flair because she's not here, so we have to focus on her. Tiffy says this is a dream come true to wrestle Charlotte, and that Mania she's coming for Charlotte's legacy because that's all Charlotte is. She's coming for the top spot in the company. Nia Jax and Candice LeRae interrupt with mics. Jax thinks this is cute. Jax will come for that title after the chamber, and Tiffy won't even make it to Mania. Tiffy tells Jax to give it up, and once Candice goes down tonight, then Jax won't have anyone to do her dirty work. Candice and Nia try to jump Tiffy, but a ref gets involved to try and enforce the scheduled match to happen as we head to the break.
somebody brought up a very good point on uh, TikTok or whatever, and they're saying, you know, the old Tiffany Stratton, the one that we had in NXT, would basically just tell Charlotte Flair to fuck off because I'm the best. But
Yeah.
they're trying to make this babyface versus heel match happen, and they really should just have go two bitch heels going at it
Yes.
for the title.
Tiffy works better as a heel. The way she talks and the way her actions. She's a heel, so it's kind of been rough. It's been rough.
Third match tonight, Tiffany Stratton versus Candice LeRae. Finish came with when a handspring back elbow from Tiffany, then a sky high for a 2 count. Tiffany heads up top, but Candice climbs up with her, only for Tiffany to shove her down, but then misses a swanton bomb. Tiffany's swanton bomb is damn near perfect. I think only Jeff Hardy does it better. And Candice grabs a crucifix pin for a 2 count. Candice misses a lion salt, and Tiffany hits a Finlay whirl, but Jax pulls Candice out of the ring. Tiffany then kicks down Jax and hits Candice with the Alabama slam into the barricade. Back in the ring, Tiffany hits the prettiest moonsault ever for the 1, 2, 3. This match was not good. I'm sorry. This match was really not good. Candice LeRae, Tiffany, they didn't click. Their time was off. And frankly, your champion shouldn't be going 10 minutes with Candice LeRae. I guess if they're trying to make Candice more legitimate, maybe, but they didn't even manage to do that here. It's not good. Post-match, Jax attacks Tiffany. Jax sets up for the Annihilator, but Trish Stratus runs down and kicks down Jax and spikes Candice with a spine buster. Candice with the chop blocks to Trish, and Jax headbutts down both Tiffany and Trish and stacks them for a double Annihilator. That, I guess the only way you could put it kindly is that she did it really safely.
Yeah.
Because I don't think she even made contact with them. But
Barely.
anyways, this isn't my review, so I'm not going to read this next part of it because fuck off. Jax is actually a lot better than what he's currently saying. This match was just bad.
Yeah.
A lot of things went wrong. It never clicked. But I don't blame that on any one of them. I just think it's a poor booking decision.
Charlotte.
Yeah, Charlotte Blackout.
Yeah.
Standing over Tiffany, pointing at the sign.
Got a point.
You got a point. You got a point at the sign.
This would work well better, way better if Tiffy was just the bitchy queen, bitchy princess.
I don't know why you're making your champion look so weak heading into WrestleMania like this.
Yeah, I mean, her and Trish will pick up the win in Toronto. I think we both can agree on that.
Yeah.
So there's that, and then who knows what happens post Chamber? We'll see. We go to the back. Cody walks and finds Damian Priest. Priest wants to know what's up with Rock. Cody says it's that time of year, so of course he's here. Priest brings up that last year they both walked out champions, and after the Chamber, he'll be coming for Cody's. Cody appreciates that. Braun walks over and congratulates Priest on winning. They both seem all right with things. They're on the same page about dealing with Solo and Jacob Fatu tonight. We hit a break. We get another hype video for the women's chamber. In the back, Byron talks with Naomi and Bianca. They asked about the Liv, Morgan, and Raquel situation. They're convinced Liv and Raquel are to blame for what happened to Jade, and now they're going to get revenge and then focus on the chamber match. We get an Alexa Bliss video. Beautiful Alexa Bliss hype video. She basically, to sum it up, Alexa's like, just reminding y'all, this is my division. And then you have the moments of...
Well, and more than that.
Yeah, and the moments of Alexa being Alexa Bliss, and the moments of being Alexa Bliss Wyatt 6 version. It's really good. I'm just mentally preparing myself because I see notes that I have to read. To the ring, Naomi and Liv and Raquel, Bianca, Liv, all them. There's an attack during the entrance, and Bella starts brawling with Raquel, but Liv chop blocks her and Raquel. It's a Tejana bomb. Oblivion and Naomi, the officials show up, and the match is just thrown out. This was speculated over the internet. This match was cut.
I wonder what match got cut in this show.
I think it was this one. It's supposed to be Liv versus Naomi, but it definitely got cut. We see a truck drive up, and it's driving recklessly. I think we know who this is. Stops, and The Rock gets out. And we head to a commercial break. Post break, Chelsea Green and Piper Niven asked to take the spots for Bianca and Naomi in the chamber. Those two are Aldous is like, they're gonna be at the chamber. It's not that big.
That was the best from Nick. He's just like, what?
Chelsea wants to be on that card because it's in Toronto. She's Canadian. Aldous feels his patient being strained, and he tells her, fine, you'll be in action. It'll be in Toronto on SmackDown next week, but doesn't give her the opponent.
Mishin.
Zelina Vega.
Mishin.
It's most likely Mishin, but I'd like to see Zelina Vega. I don't know why.
We need the blow off to Mishin and Chelsea.
All right, hold on. All right, let's do it,
Can we
man.
just replay our intro?
I'm not going to read every bit of this. There is a lot that happened here. Um, if you watch the cold open and then the press conference, you kind of get a gist of what goes on here.
More or less.
The Rock comes out. There's some weird music that plays, and actually, I know this is from 411 Mania. It wasn't weird music. It was actually his music and then Lil Wayne music to announce WrestleMania 42 is going to be in New Orleans. Back to New Orleans for
Narlands. It's
WrestleMania.
Narlands.
New Orleans. Um, Somebody like dropped their phone, and The Rock walked over, picked it up, and gave it back to him. Rocky chants, and he's doing his Rocky stuff with the crowd. Is he a face? Is he a heel? He's the final boss. He tells them he does the finally, and then cuts him off, and blah blah blah. And then they sing the Saints Go Marching In. He tells the crowd not to sing along. This isn't sing along with The Rock, so he's back in heel mode here. Uh, it says that was a lovely duet. Of the Rock with the biggest collection of STD having trailer park trash he's ever seen. Okay, we're like, all right, you know what we're waiting for. What's up? Like, what do you want to talk to Cody about? He brings out a man that he respects, admires, who we all admire, and that man is our WWE champion, Cody Rhodes. And here comes Cody Rhodes with the title in hand, suited, booted, and ready to go. Mic of his own. Rock hugs him, kisses him on the cheek. We're like, all right, here we go. Last time they were in the ring together was the Raw debut on Netflix. He puts Cody over for carrying the company, as he has. That night they drink a lot of tequila, a lot of Terramana. A lot of Terramana. They had a blast, but now Rock has to call him out. And here's the thing: Cody's a great champion. They become friends. Hell, their mothers are friends. We get a picture of Mama Rhodes and Mama Rock. Rock says Cody's a great champion, but Rock is on the TKO board, which he owns WWE. And Rock says he is the most powerful man in WWE. He wants Cody to be his champion. All right, he wants Cody to be his champion. Uh, all right, so bear with us. Watch the cold open, please. Just watch the cold open. He wants to be his champion, and Cody's like, "What the fuck?" Cody, I think Cody in this moment when Rock said this, Cody's face was, "What the fuck are you talking about?" He was on the same page as everybody else. To be fair, he's like, "What are we doing?"
I,
Yeah.
I wanted to do a bit with you. I was gonna be like, you're Bruce Pritchard or I'm Bruce Pritchard and Triple H, and you guys are on the phone call when Rock goes out and starts babbling. It's like, Bruce, didn't you give him the fucking script? It's like, then you're like, no, you said you were going to give him the script. It's like, no, you said you were going to. He's like, oh, fuck.
All right, so Rock goes on to say they're both lucky to have it all, to be mama's boys and girl dads. The one thing Rock has never had is a brother. And that's what Cody could be. Last year, Rock wanted to face his cousin Roman Reigns. He talks with a bunch of people who were friends about pushing Cody aside, but it was best. And Cody just basically said, fuck no. He said, fuck that. I think Rock did say that. Cody said, fuck that. Cody wouldn't step aside. He stood up to The Rock, slapped him in front of the whole world. No one does that and gets away with it. That's why Cody's special. That's why Cody should be his champion. That's why Rock will elevate Cody into the stars. Cody doesn't have to answer right now. Talk it over with your family, just like The Rock will. And at the Elimination Chamber, Rock will need Cody's answer. Cody thinks this is all about the WWE title because The Rock is like, I want that. He points. Cody's like, you want this? The WWE title? That's all you want? Rocker interrupts and says, no. This is about your soul. We'll see Cody at the chamber for his answer. I get what they're doing. I get it. I'm gonna let him cook, RK. But what the fuck was that?
If the, it's so fucking dry in this hotel room, I'm gonna die. Um, if this doesn't end in Cody coming out with black hair and wearing a suit, and he's now corporate Cody,
Brother, I've heard so much
this is horrible.
speculation. I've heard one rumor that would blow my mind. and I think you might know what it is. Is that okay? Cody denies his corporate champion, but Rock's going to find his corporate champion, and CM Punk is going to be that corporate champion. It would throw everything for a loop because what did CM Punk? What does CM Punk stand against? The corporation.
There's no way CM Punk becomes corporate champion.
Would blow your mind. Would blow your mind, wouldn't it? At WrestleMania, Punk's favor is he wants in that match. It's a triple threat match. John Cena, Cody Rhodes, CM Punk. The Rock comes out. He's there. He raises the hand of CM Punk after helping CM Punk win the WWE Championship. It's Stone Cold and Vince McMahon all over again.
Get off Twitter, my friend.
Hey, I'm just saying. So yeah, it's confusing. We'll find out Elimination Chamber. I assume Cody says no, and then all hell breaks loose. I thought Roman plays into this maybe, where Roman is like pissed off. He's like, "What the fuck? You want him to be your champion? It's me. It's Roman. Like I should be your champion." This maybe sets up Roman versus Rock. I don't know, but I do agree we need Cody with jet black hair, and he just says fuck it and becomes corporate champion, and we just go with it.
That I would accept that. I would accept everything that's happened here in this show if that
Let
happens.
I think we both said it, and we both agree. We're just gonna let him cook, and we're gonna see what happens. That's all we can do. That's all we can do. Enjoy the ride that the Rock's taking our candy asses on, even though it's confusing.
I'm almost positive Rock doesn't have scripts ever.
All right. Well, guess what, RK? After all this,
We still have a show after this.
yeah, we have to get back to SmackDown. DIY come to the ring. They've got mics and they talk their way to the ring. Tonight has been electrifying, but can we be somber for just a second? 2 weeks ago they were embarrassed, but tonight they crushed the dreams of Pretty Deadly. So if we could please stand and honor a moment of silence for Pretty Deadly. Crowd, see the crowd do kind of go. There's some people that stand for this, some don't. Pretty Deadly's music hits. We get a brawl. Pretty Deadly stands tall the whole time. They're brawling. Pretty Deadly's music is still playing. It's just craziness. And this leads us to the match, but huh? We have to
Yeah,
get back to this.
yeah. I know. It was just everything just seemed off at this point.
That can we both agree before you carry on with this next match? Should the Rock segment just have closed the show?
Yeah,
It should have just closed the show.
but
I
you know
know
why it didn't?
you can't
You know
trust the
why it didn't?
motherfucker to stay on schedule.
Exactly. There was no way for them to know how long this promo was gonna go.
Yep.
So like, fuck, we got to put it in the middle of the show and hope like hell he stops at some point.
And then we'll have all the professionals in the back be able to work around it.
Yeah, that's the only reason it happened mid-show because they sent him out at like half an hour before the show. He would have wanted to cut like a 45-minute promo.
Guaranteed.
Yeah, fourth match of the night. I can't believe they're still on air. I would have just turned off the feed and said, "Oh, technical difficulties."
We're processing what just happened.
WWE Tag Team Title match: champions DIY, Ciampa and Gargano versus challengers Pretty Deadly, Kit Wilson and Elton Prince. Finish comes when Prince is still being isolated as we come back from commercial, but he starts to come back only for Ciampa to cheap shot Wilson. Then we get a double cross body spot between Ciampa and Prince to put them both down. Wilson is up and gets the tag as does Johnny, and Wilson starts running wild, including his slightly sloppy version of the Jawbreaker Lariat. I gotta remind myself. I gotta do my own. I gotta.
Hey, you get a pass. You're on the road. You get a pass.
Everybody sucks at writing. Like we're better than this. Prince tags back in, but Johnny fights them both off, only to take the assisted code breaker for a 2 count. I love that move from them. That's so much
Yes.
fun.
Yes.
Ciampa takes an uppercut from Wilson, then a back suplex from Prince. The Profits show up and lay waste to everyone, and the match gets thrown out. Man, the Profits, man, have they ever looked this good?
Love it. Love it.
This edge to them is just so good.
Yes.
This is based on shedding that skin of the party frat boys,
Yep.
and becoming serious, and they
Yep.
look devastating. Post-match, the Street Profits destroy both teams, including Ciampa taking from the heavens. The Motor City Machine Guns run down next, and they start brawling with the Profits, but Sabin takes a big ending from Dawkins. Then Revelation to Sabin as well, and the Profits stand tall over the entire division.
For a second, man, I said it when we were watching. Motor City came out. I'm like, they're gonna get the upper hand. Nope. Street Profits laid their asses out too, and I was so happy about that.
Oh, it's
Oh,
good. It's
it's
great
great.
stuff.
Raw tag team division. Come on, man. Take notes. They're working on it. They're working on it. So we it's noted that we're gonna hear from Kevin Owens, probably from his car, maybe, most likely, because
That's
Kevin Owens.
per usual.
We get some history from Elimination Chamber that 15 years ago, Cena won a chamber match, but he had to defend right after against Batista and lost. Then we get a Cena hype
That was
video.
such a wild chamber, man.
I remember. What's funny is that's happened to Cena like a couple times. New Year's Revolution, there was a chamber match. I think, pretty sure it was a chamber match or a Hell in a Cell. I don't remember, man. But the cage was being lifted and Edge came out, and that's when the Ultimate Opportunist was created in Edge.
That was Hell in a Cell. That was a Hell in a
Was
Cell.
it? It was New Year's
Yeah,
Evil. I do remember that.
yeah, it was a Hell in a
New
Cell.
Year's Revolution. Sorry. Uh, so we get a recap of what happened with Sami Zayn on Monday and how he bullied Adam Pearce into the unsanctioned match. Kevin Owens video. It's not from his car though. I just want to say this is so good. Just go find it. It's on his Twitter. He says Sammy couldn't take the punishment and let it go. He wants to go again to end his career, hurt his family, put Sammy's family through more. And what do we have here? Oh, Kevin Owens is outside Sammy's house and is recording them through the window. What happens when he can't provide for his family anymore after what Owens does to Sammy? Why are we doing this? Just because Sammy's selfish and he's going to make Owens hurt all of them? He'll never forgive Sammy for this. And you remember that Sammy is the one who asked for this, and it's all Sammy's fault. Yeah, just casually outside his window, leaning the camera over, like, "Oh, here's Sami Zayn with his wife and his kid." And I joked and I said, "You know damn well." After he cut the camera off, he walked back inside and they had dinner or something together.
Walks up. Sammy's like, "You get your video?" He's like, "Yeah, man, it turned out great. Awesome. Okay. Want dinner? Yeah. Beer? Yeah."
Yeah. Was my acting good? Did you get a good shot of me walking? And yep, perfect. You nailed it. You killed it. One take. Um, yeah, that Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, that match at Elimination Chamber is going to be glorious.
It's gonna it could outshine the whole show.
Agreed. Damian Priest is headed to the ring, so we get to a break, and we get some more entrances here. Post break, Braun Strowman, Solo, and Jacob do the walking and talking. This was good.
I timed
Oh yeah,
the entrances.
yes, you did.
The entrances came in at 13 minutes.
Total with all of them, yeah. I think the match itself was like 12.
Yeah.
Crazy. But this was cool. Solo and Jacob are coming. They're doing the walking and talking. Solo's talking first, but Jacob just cuts him off and says, "All gas, no brakes. We've been dropping bodies like breadcrumbs." And they come out to Jacob's music. No solo music, just Jacob himself. They come to the ring. Jacob, by the way, he's so good. He's so fucking good. We knew this.
Yeah, but how good is Solo?
Solo's great too. It's almost like they're gonna end up having a Solo fucking face turn or something because he's being bullied by Jacob.
He is, but look at the little nuances of Solo here.
Oh, he's great.
He knows something is up.
Yeah, he's very.
He's
Look in the eyes.
he's playing his own game. He's
Yep.
playing his own game here too.
He's not dumb. He did this. He carried the bloodline.
He sees what's happening. He knows what's going on. You can see it in his body language and the promos already since coming back. You can see he's aware something's up.
Yes.
Yeah, fifth match. Final match tonight, thank God. Damian Priest and Braun Strowman versus Jacob Fatu and Solo Sikoa. Finish comes when Solo takes a head kick from Priest, and Priest goes up for his old school crossbody. Priest boxes the ears of Solo and hits another head kick, then sets up for the Rager's Edge. But Tama eats a punch to distract. Fatu hands up Priest to set up a spinning Solo, but only for a 2 count. Solo sets up for this moment like he also begs for a reaction from the crowd, which he barely gets. I don't know why, like, everybody just wants to review WWE shows and then put in their little shots. Yeah. It's weird. Priest blocks the spike, then punches Fatu, and Fatu accidentally super kicks Solo.
That was the look of a man that after he did it, he just was like, meh, good.
Yeah. Clothesline to Solo, and Braun runs over both Fatu and Tama on the floor.
It wasn't on the floor. It was around it was on the floor, but the announce table, the way he hit
Oh yeah,
that,
when he came around, I thought he was just
yeah.
gonna nail Jacob, but then
Oh
Tama
my
came out of
god,
nowhere and he just
just
went,
like an
and they went.
explosion.
That leaves Priest free and clear to hit the South of Heaven on Solo and the pin for the 1, 2, and 3. It was a good main event, but I
Yeah.
mean everything on this show after The Rock is just overshadowed.
Yep.
Even though we got that wicked stuff from Street Profits.
Which, to be fair, RK, when you think about it, everything on this show was overshadowed by The Rock. Because we
Yeah,
built
just
up from the start, it was all building up to, okay, what the hell's going to go on with The Rock? The matches before The Rock came out, the promos, it was just kind of like, all right, come on, like, let's
if
get
the
to it.
Rock segment didn't exist, this probably would have been a decent SmackDown.
Would have been a better SmackDown than we thought coming
Yeah.
out of it, and even as we sit here today. But yeah, oh,
We're gonna get Solo and Jacob Fatu, and it's gonna be great.
yeah, agreed. I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, I mean, my final thoughts were, yeah, the SmackDown was, as I just said, overshadowed by The Rock. And before The Rock talked, it was like, all right, we're waiting on The Rock. And then after The Rock talked, it was like, what the fuck happened? And then
And
everything
which is
followed.
so unfair to the rest of the wrestlers because Street Profits, that tag team division moment, awesome. Kevin Owens
Yep.
video at Sammy's house, awesome. Tag team match at the finish, building up so much there, awesome, great action. It's just like, but
Yeah,
none of it, everything was just like, what the fuck just happened?
agreed. I can tell the dryness is getting to you in your voice, so we need to wrap this episode up so you can get some fluids or water
No,
next time.
it won't help. It's
Yeah,
like a fucking desert in this
gotcha.
hotel room.
So we close every show as usual with the show and wrestler of the week. So RK, what is your show of the week?
Raw.
Raw. I agree. It's dude, Raw killed this week. Raw was awesome this week. Simple, plain simple. Boom, move along. Wrestler of the week.
That one's tougher.
I have to think on it myself.
You know what? Ricky's debut, I saw a lot. I going in, I wasn't a fan of Ricky. Coming out, as a fan of Ricky, so I got to go with Ricky.
Oh, I like that one. That's a good one. Mine is Roxanne Perez.
Yeah, fair.
Roxanne
Yeah,
put on a
yeah.
great match with Raquel Rodriguez, and we talked about it. You know, when we talked about it, broke it down, just how awesome it was. Her date singles match on the main roster looked really good, smooth, like she belongs. And who knows? Push is endless. With that being said,
Good pick. Good pick.
thank you for tuning in. Episode number 42 of the This Week in Wrestling with Top Rope Renegades. You can catch us on Spotify, Apple Podcast, Amazon Music, all those good sources if you just want the audio version. If you're watching on YouTube, thank you so much for tuning in. Please like, comment, subscribe, and all that good stuff. And on the Spotify and Apple, leave a 5-star review. You can also comment on Spotify as well, which is interesting. But yeah. And with that being said, I am Kurt. Thank you so much for tuning in. That is RK, and we will talk to you guys next week on This Week in Wrestling.